Wow, D&D Beyond's broke.
Frankly, I don't give a fuck if your D&D Beyond's broke. We're going live anyway. Good evening. It's the Academy of Shar, session 2. That is also session 1. That is also session 2. Sessionception. Ziggy. It's session 2. Despite the fact that our first session was part of a session 0. And first of all, I would like to say hello to everybody and welcome along. I hope you have fun and enjoy it. Secondly, playing with me today, I have Alora.
Hi, I'm Alora. I'm playing Aveltria. She is an evocation wizard. Half-elf.
I have Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh. I will be playing Bartholomew, who is a human conjuration wizard. Yes.
I have Jamal.
Hey guys, it's Jamal here, playing Cadmus Golden Skin. Can't tell you that much about them right now because D&D Beyond is having a...
Cadmus Golden Skin is a
moment.
transmutation wizard.
Yes.
Of the Dragonborn origin. He is a golden Dragonborn of the ruling family, the royal family, but he is but one minor second cousin 6 times removed. I have Matt playing with me.
Hello, I'm Matt. I'm playing Ziggy Lightfoot, nicknamed DC, who is a forest gnome and is a wizard of illusion.
Excellent. And I have Kira.
Hello, I'm Kieran. I'll be playing Zas, the necromancy wizard folk man.
Excellent. Yeah, I think a couple of people are very loud. So can we just roll quickly through that? Matt, say hi.
Hello, hi.
Yeah, you are very loud. And again, please, Matt.
Hello.
Yeah, That'll do. Kira.
Hello.
Josh.
Yo.
And Laura.
Hello.
And there's no point in testing Jamal because, as we all know, he is a monitor. No, he's just got a very consistent mic setup, to be fair.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
it's surprisingly consistent.
Okay, so as we left off last session, you had been to the quartermaster and got yourself some components and other things that you might need and signed up for your particular delineation of arcane focus that you would be crafting. However, that's not for another week, and in the meantime, we have some lessons to attend. We'll say that on that evening, you all went back a little tired. And, Aveltria, you were going to teach Zas a little about your evocationing, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Please could both of you give me an intelligence roll, please? Aveltria, Actually, Veltri, I'll take an Arcana check, so if you have a modifier. Good characters is a tag you can do. Unfortunately, they never ever follow their alignment, but you can do that tag. What do you get, please? Arcana check from Veltri?
26.
26. Good God, you're going to have to roll low to fail to learn this, Sass. How's your intelligence roll?
18.
Perfect. You will... Ooh. That's a memory test. Agonizer's Scorcher, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
First of all, you will be able to roll Agonizer's Scorcher into your spellbook when you hit level 3. However, more importantly, the next time you roll in Evocation class, you will not do so at disadvantage. Only the next time, though. Please be aware that this may be 8 episodes hence, so it's up to you to remember, not me. Cool. Fantastic. However, you will get a nice night's sleep, because tomorrow you've got 4 lessons, and 4 lessons is a lot of lessons. And as you all wake... Yeah, 4 lessons is a lot of lessons when each lesson can go on an hour and a half to 2.5 hours. That could be like 10 hours of lessons in a day. That's a lot of learning. But you would all know that first thing in the morning, you've all got enchanting. Enchantment. And so if you take a night's rest, who would be the first, the early riser, the up and atom of the morning?
Usually I'm up early, tending to my plants.
Ah, yes, of course. And we also have an elf with us, do we not? Anybody take reverie? I'm looking at you, Veltria.
Half elf.
Do you not get reverie from half-elving? Good God, why would anybody be a half-elf? Oh, shit.
Best race.
No, in all fairness, you do get 4 points of stat increase. That is pretty huge. So, yeah. As you wake up, Sass, you talk about caring for your plants. Tell me, what sort of things you expect might be in your plants?
Well, one of the main things that I'm trying to work on is a way to prolong my people's lives. We don't live long, unfortunately.
So you're dabbling in both the healing arts and the mystical arts there.
Yes.
Interesting. So I expect that some of the plants that we're growing will be, for example, wild sage root and ephedra leaf, which are your standard healing leaves, but perhaps you've also managed to procure yourself some spine flower berries and some other unusual ingredients, perhaps even dragonstone. Don't worry about adding them to your inventory, they're growing in your kitchen. But for now, it's just worth knowing that those are the sort of things that might be growing in your... I think it's fair to say you've got a small sort of out the windowsill in your kitchen plant thing, and then perhaps some pots out the back, the side of the common room that everybody knows not to touch, because Zaz is a pretty chill guy, right? But somebody starts running off with his plants, he's not going to be so chill, I don't think.
There'll be a problem, yes.
Excellent. I think second up in the morning is our young dragonborn, Cadmus. He of no character sheet. What Cadmus's morning routine?
After spending a little bit of time waking up, probably start hidden up some textbooks in front of a fireplace and tuck himself into a nice comfy chair and
So in front of the common room fire, coffee in hand, I assume.
yeah, probably with a blanket as well, just wrapping myself up and just starting reading.
Fantastic. As you proceed with that, Veltria, what does mornings look like for you?
Pancakes. Straight to the kitchen.
Great, love it. Veltria's in the kitchen making pancakes. Is she a good cook?
Not the best.
Great. She's making pancakes at disadvantage. Please give me a wisdom roll.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You don't have proficiency in cooking tools, do you?
No, and that's
No.
a nat one.
Fantastic.
Oh.
Nevertheless, one thing you are exceptional at doing is both making fires and putting them out. So you do manage to rescue the kitchen, the pancakes, however, not great. But Bartholomew, what does mornings look like? What is that sentence? What do mornings look like for you? I get my tenses right.
Pretty lazy. Probably get up late. Are showers a thing in this world?
Yep. So the way a shower works is it's a part of the ceiling, a stone in the ceiling that's been imbued with the produce water spell, and then that just cascades on down until you switch.
Yeah, I'd probably stand in the shower for like 40 minutes, Like, not even washing, just stood there.
Okay, what goes through your mind when you're standing in the shower for 40 minutes, or do we not want to know?
Nothing like that. I would have dealt with that before getting up.
Lazy.
No, literally nothing. He's just kind of waking up. It's his way of waking up, I guess.
Okay, so you're slowly removing yourself from the comatose position.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, I think it's fair to say is DC. Ziggy, what's your morning routine? What's it look
So
like?
when I leave my room, like what's like kind of like the layout? Like,
Okay, so if you imagine that you have this large circular common room, and from there are sort of 6 offspringings of sort of staircases, winding staircases. Each one spiral staircase goes up to where the corridor then goes outwards. In that outwards corridor, you may have 2 or 3 apartments as such. Entrances to rooms that are then your own and have bathroom, bedroom, etc. These are the university common rooms. They weren't the common rooms that you spent years in before. Also, from the main common room, you then have a main exit, which is a sort of slightly descending, sloping, wider exit that then leads out into the main academy itself.
so then as I leave my room, I would kind of walk towards the common room, and there's someone in there, right?
Mm-hmm. Cadmus is sitting by the fire. I think Aveltria's brought down her burnt pancakes. Zas has probably wandered in, having watered his plants. Bart's probably made his way down now. He's still a little wet, but he's there.
So then I wouldn't make myself shown, and I would cast a minor illusion, a tiny little evil-looking goblin that's just like staring at everyone, holding a nice dagging knife. And from down the hallway, everyone just hears, goblin, watch out! And that's it.
I will take, just from Cadmus, because he was reading a book and might be slightly distracted, I will take a perception check, please, Cadmus, but I'll take it at advantage. You're well aware of DC's tricks.
That's a 22.
Yeah. You see this illusion sort of floating down the hall. Unfortunately, it's very much like in a static animation, and DC's accent for it is pretty tragic. It's definitely just Ziggy, and you can also see him behind the slightly translucent image, chuckling to himself. But you can be a bit good sport about it. However,
what I will do.
Yeah.
Immediate. Somewhere in front of the goblin. I'll prestidigitation and use that to sort of create some lights in the air, which are in the shape of words. And these are just going to spell out "nice try."
Nice. And so you were all sort of collected there. And Cassandra sort of walks down from her room, and they just walk straight up through the common room. No words were spoken. She's just gone. And the one thing that's nice about this common room is that the other people you share it with are the Lagon brother and sister, Heta and a couple of others. But the Lagon brother and sister they have a rather affluent estate on the edge of the academy, and therefore they really don't spend much time here, which means it's the one place where you guys aren't sort of shunted to the side in favor of them. So it's quite a comfortable place to be and to inhabit.
Do we eat breakfast here?
You have a kitchen in your own room, in your own sort of apartment area, so it's up to you. You can bring a breakfast down, or you can not. Certainly at feast times or celebrations, there would always be like a common room feast afterwards, but as a general rule, lots of people bring their food down and lots don't.
Yeah, I would have brought down some like a bowl of cereal, if that's a thing in this world.
You've got some grains floating in some milk. That's the thing. It's
Sure.
probably closer to porridge.
It's pretty healthy. So
It's closer to porridge, yeah.
okay, yeah. I'll sit down at the table and put my head on the table, like on the side, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just be spooning in porridge in my mouth,
Lovely.
trying not to choke.
Well, you guys will need to get up fairly soon and get out because your first lesson will begin shortly. Your first lesson will be enchantment. This is again in the same. Your group, your class, are all being taught in the same lecture hall. It's your lecture hall. So various wizards, teachers may maneuver the lecture hall to look different or be different. But it'll always be the same lecture hall. So as you all head down there, I'm assuming we're taking up our normal positions. We have Cadmus, Zas, and DC in the front. Bart, you're slightly behind Cadmus, is that correct?
No, slightly behind Ziggy.
Slightly behind Ziggy, sorry, yeah. And then in the back right, we've got Aveltria. Back left, we've got Cassandra. Nobody else is in the back row, just those two. Aveltria, the nearest person to you is a couple of seats forward. Because it's quite a big lecture hall. It's designed for like the previous classes where you had non-magic students as well. So that's why there's plenty of space in it. The closest person to Aveltria would be Heta, the halfling who is tipped to be an artificer cross in the future, but right now is just... She's still a bit ditzy. She's still a bit of a klutz. But she's very intelligent. And so, as you all take your seats, there is no teacher in here presently. The Lagon brother and sister sit at the front, and you can see them both conjuring some sort of pink and purple spiral, almost like they're flames that are fighting each other. What are you doing idly in the back there, Bart?
I'm gonna look over to Ziggy's desk, and I'm gonna minor conjuration on it, just like a little doll, that looks exactly like him, but one eye is missing.
I'm just gonna look at him and be like, he's very handsome looking. I want to pick it up. Is it physical? Can I pick it up?
You can pick it up.
You can, yeah, of course you can.
Yeah, you can. It has a little dim glow about it.
It's a nice trick you got there.
Don't worry, when I remove your eye later, you'll be matching.
As you stare at it, you notice that the missing eye becomes like a ball of slight glowing flame almost. It's a magical eye now, and it begins to stare straight at you, looking around left and right. Give me a perception check, please.
That's a natural 20. 21.
Beautiful. As you see this, you sort of look around the room, and you see that Hedda is in the process of casting, as she's sort of transfixed on your transfixed face, and she's sort of looking shyly over at Bart, like, not sure whether it's kind of okay to mess with his messing, if that makes sense, but sort of wanting to get herself a little involved. But before you guys get a chance to say anything, the teacher strides on in. And this is, sorry, what class did I say we're turning up for? Ah, yes.
Enchantment.
There we go, enchantment. So, striding in is a tabaxi in a pink robe, with sort of flowery lights around the back of her ears. And she just sort of looks around up at the class. And... Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Hello.
Excellent.
I'll quickly get rid of the doll.
I'm getting rid of the doll. Okay, very well.
I don't want Ziggy to get into trouble. Or at least not straight away.
She doesn't. Not straight away. I love it. So yeah, she sort of looks around the class, and enchantment is sometimes a simple art. It's about the force of personality behind the spell that really makes it work. If you are not adept in charming people without magic, you will never be adept at doing so with magic. Now, I'd like you all to break into pairs, please. She looks over at Veltria, and perhaps the two of you at the back might come forward a little bit for this. Pair up together. Suggesting that you pair up with Cassandra.
Very reluctantly move over.
I'm just aware that there are only 5 of you. Who else is pairing up with her?
I'll conjure a chair backwards, but next to Ziggy, and I'll go and sit on it.
Okay, fantastic.
I think I'll put away the book that I was writing in and give it to my unseen servant, And I'll turn around and I'll nod toward Hedda.
Ooh. It's a bit harsh. I like it. As you look straight
That is
past Cadmus.
brutal.
As you look straight past Cadmus, who was in between you and DC and no longer has a partner. Cadmus, as you turn around,
Ryerson.
yeah! I was about to say, I can only remember the name of the posh dude. Fantastic. Bryson sits to the left of Zas, and he sort of shuffles over into Zas's desk as Hedda gestures for Zas to move over there. So, as you all take your partners, this teacher today is called Vanya. Vanya is the professoress, if you like, of enchantment. And she says that today we're going to be learning the simple art of suggesting certain things to one another. This starts with suggesting that perhaps one might sleep. And we will move on later to suggesting other things. At this moment, each of your desks in the well to the left-hand side will provide you with 2 objects. The first of which is a feather, and the second of which is a small glass bead. As you all pick up the bead, it yells, "Awake!" Those of you who are about to be charmed, please hold on to the bead. Those of you who are about to cast sleep, please hold on to the feather. And with that, I will take Arcana checks, please, from each of you. We don't have any enchantment specialists, so you will all be rolling at disadvantage. This is a simple DC of 6.
Perfect.
Oh, that's
10.
brilliant.
I just rolled a nat 20 and then a 19.
Nice! Did anybody roll below a 6?
This is Arcana.
Arcana check.
No.
Yeah, fine.
And that
I
one
rolled a
still
2,
counts
but
as below.
I rolled
But
a 2, but it got me over.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's only an at 1 for most of you. Fantastic, as you all learn the spell Sleep. Those of you... actually, to be fair, the only people who have learnt it so far are Aveltria, Bartholomew, Zas, and Cadmus. As DC, you are currently asleep. The being yells at you, "Awake!" And you're sort of immediately rushed awake. And then, Ziggy, you will cast on Bart. What was your check, please?
11.
Okay. Cadmus, you hear sort of this very fine Bryson, casting his magic, and his accent doesn't actually ruin anything. He manages to put you to sleep. Veltria, Cass just gives the most negligent wave of her hand and sort of done, and asleep you are. As for you, Zas, I need you to roll a dexterity save, please. Oh, shit, my goodness. It was going to be Bryson that got this done to him. Oh, fuck me. Sorry.
17.
Yeah, I can't see what I rolled because I can't see the dice. I don't know where I put it. It's just...
Why would you pick her when she's a
I
liability?
missed the dice tray, alright? Leave me alone.
Hedda seems kind of cute. I like her.
She might set your hair on fire.
That's whatever. It's fine. I don't have any hair.
The scales then. What's
Put you into
it?
a coma instead of
Come into a coma, yeah, right. I feel bad for her. She's like, I don't know.
I like
Sorry,
this
what was your
teacher.
save?
17.
Okay, I'll roll a fresh dice, because fuck knows where that one's gone. It's not my favourite as well. Okay, 17 is a success. Which is unfortunate for the person sitting behind you. Bartholomew, you find that your lips are completely sewn together.
Hedda, you need to concentrate.
I'm concentrating very hard, but you don't seem to be falling asleep.
No, I don't. I think you might have missed me.
Oh. I'm sorry. And at this point, you sort of see Bart over there. Vanya looks up and... Well, that's different. She walks on over and... Bart, she's gonna just look at you. I can understand why somebody would do this, but...
I'm very
How?
powerful.
This spell doesn't come from you.
I'm gonna mine out conjuration a sign that says "All hail Ziggy."
Yeah, she just sort of with a negligent gesture of her hand dispels the magic upon you. And then she sort of looks around the room, and then suddenly as she reaches her eyes just stop. She walks over. not an easy spell to cast that. But not the one you were looking for. How exactly did you confuse Zarman with Garman? They are not the same letter, please. Keep to the right enchantment. Now, repeat slowly after me. And she says the enchantment, which I'm not going to attempt to make up. And, Zas, you are able to stay in place this time, as you see that no violent pink lights are coming towards you, but instead the gentle spell of sleep. And you will fall asleep. Biggie yells at you, awake! See? Isn't that hard? Don't be so intelligent, you can be so thick. She pats Hedda on the shoulder, and Hedda looks just bright pink in the face. As Vanya walks back to the front of the vision. Well, given the slight, what on earth are you two doing? As you look over, the Lagon brother and sisters are not casting on themselves, and instead, they are currently growing a tail on Ziggy's backside, and then dismissing it, and then growing a tail on Ziggy's backside. And they're trying to grow different tails. You can see that eventually they're going to... One of them currently looks very, very similar to Vanya's tail. And then the other one is attempting to give you a little pair of ears, at which point Vanya will turn to them. And you see a little bit of sort of a bright red light come into her pale pink eyes. And you see that both of the heads of the Lagon brothers and sisters sort of slammed backwards and reach forwards. She sort of snaps out. Enchantment magic is not only used to beguile, but can also be used to wreck your mind. Please do not give me a reason to do so. And pay some attention. If you wish to fiddle with impersonating others and stupid tricks, please do so on each other. Not on those that are trying to learn. I will not have my classes interrupted. Thank you. Now, as I was saying, we are going to try the art of suggestion. I would like for you to attempt something gentle with this, please. No getting people to attempt to fly or anything else that might hurt them, but perhaps something amusing. Now, I'm going to come round to each pair one by one. You two at the back. Veltria, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you may take your hand and place it in this simple motion, and she puts two fingers up, sort of pushes towards the person. This can be done more subtly later, but for now, that will do. And repeat after me, and she gives you the incantation. How the fuck did you get in? Like, what is this? Some kind of magic?
It's Vanya.
So, she looks at you. Very well, we will roleplay as Vanya. She looks at you, and she says, please now cast after me. And then, fuck me, she decides she really is had enough of that. And off she walks before you cast her. Please give me your Arcana check. Disadvantage, please. The DC is 19.
11.
You, what are you trying to suggest that Cassandra does?
I suggest you hop on one leg.
She sort of raises one eyebrow at you. That's about as much action as you get. Well, it is a complicated spell. Perhaps your partner might give it a go. Cassandra, please. Cassandra goes to cast this spell, and you can see she does it with the sort of natural arrogance that she's had throughout. But she fumbles over the words, and you hear this audibly of Veltria. She tries again, and sort of almost angrily attempts the third time, but she can't get the words out properly. And Vanya steps up and sort of places a hand on her shoulder, and don't get frustrated at yourself. This is complicated. Let your partner take another turn. And with this, she's going to encourage each of you to take a turn one by one, but if you don't get it the first time, you won't be writing this to a spellbook. Eventually, Veltria, you are able to get Cassandra to hop on one leg. However, even after an hour and a half, Cassandra is incapable of even getting past the first half of the enchantment. She hasn't even managed to attempt to cast the spell yet. But we'll return to that in a moment, as first of all, we will come to Ziggy and Bart. Bartholomew, what are you attempting to get... Actually, you cast first last time. Ziggy, what are you attempting to get Bart to do? What suggestion?
I'm gonna suggest you slap me in the face.
I love it. Ziggy, I will take your Arcana check, please, at a 19 DC.
Disadvantage.
Disadvantages. This is quite nice music. I like this. It's probably a little
Ooh, I
dark
rolled.
for what we're doing.
I rolled 2 dirty 20s.
2 dirty 20s. Beautiful. And Bart, you find yourself not even vaguely reluctantly, just slapping Ziggy around the face. It's a great excuse. And Vanya sort of looks at you and, an unusual command, but I felt the magic from here. Excellent work. And what about you, Bartholomew? Bartholomew, you will roll at a DC of 18. As Vanya's returned to watch. What are you doing, woman? Just chill the fuck out.
That's a 21.
Ooh, with disadvantage?
I have a +5 Arcana, so.
True. Yeah, so, what do you get Siggy to do?
So I'm gonna minor conjuration a little ball on a piece of string, and I'm gonna like sway it in front of him, and I'm like, look at the ball, and I'm gonna be like, don't you just feel like you could fly? Jump
Are
off
you
of
doing
that
this because
table
the
and
teacher's a cat?
What?
Are you doing this because the teacher's a cat?
No. Also, don't talk back to me.
She succeeds her charisma save on not swiping at the ball. No, Ziggy, you sort of clamber up onto the table and jump. However, before you reach the ground, you find yourself floating down very gently. As she just negligently feather falls you. Both of you can write this spell to your spellbook, if you wish. Come level 3, of course, because it's a level 2 spell. We come now to Cadmus and Bryson. Cadmus, what are you attempting to get Bryson to do?
So I just I took my cast on Bryson and I'm attempting to. Should I just say the words of it, just like clearly?
I don't know. What are you attempting to get them to do?
Get up and walk out the door. Leave.
Okay, that's pretty simple. You will be rolling at a disadvantage for a DC of 21. This is apparently quite difficult for you for some reason.
What the fuck?
It's my dice that determine what DC you roll at.
Well, that's only a 20. Jesus.
Okay. Yeah, for reference, I'm rolling a D12 and adding 12. So
Fuck me, that's a lot.
Well,
Jesus.
yeah, these are spells above your level. They're difficult.
Right.
And so, yeah, you don't quite succeed first time, but what did you get, sorry, you said?
20.
That's pretty close. So you get him to sort of leave his chair, but not the room. Bryson, oh, that was excellent. I felt that. Well done. Right. My turn. Oh, he's just gone and nailed it.
Oh, fuck no.
Without sort of any hesitation, he just rolls a 20 and an 18 on his d20, sort of looks you over, and he has commanded that you place your hands upon your head. And so you will do so. And he looks over him and, excellent work. Zas, we come to you. I think we'll let Hedda go first. And she will make her roll. Oh dear, I don't think we need a second roll on that one. Yeah, so she attempts to make you smile, but you don't feel anything at all. She just completely fumbles everything about the spell, the semantic things. I mean, everything's just a complete bumble. And she sort of goes, oh, maybe you should give it a go. I'll think a bit harder.
You've already tried to cast?
Yeah, well, let's not talk about it, Sass. Go on, you take your turn.
I'm sorry, I'm not used to this. Okay. What's my DC?
Yeah, I'm just working it out.
Okay.
Sorry, I put my D12. Oh, that's a 22, I'm afraid.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm rolling well on that D12. I haven't rolled under a 7 yet.
Okay.
One pass.
Okay, so one is a 20 and the other one's a natural 20.
Oh! So your dirty 20 is not enough to pass. However,
Yeah.
what are you attempting to get Hex to do?
I'm going to turn to her and kind of like loom over her so that my shadow can be cast over her body and lean down. Give me a handshake.
very nefarious form of.
Oh, where I thought the end of that word was going.
Wow.
Well, barring that that's completely against our gaming rules, the handshake is not. And so she sort of reaches her hand out and then catches herself before she does. Give me a insight check, Sass. I think this is insight.
Nice. That is a 19.
You realize what Vanya says is fairly true. It's often about the force of your personality as much as about your magic. And although you completely failed the casting of the spell, Heta still nearly did what you asked, just because of the force of personality you put into the spell. He looks up at you and, oh, I wasn't even sure there was any magic involved in that one. I felt inclined to do so.
I'm sorry, did I scare you?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Quite the opposite. It was most intriguing. I've not seen you so at ease.
This is hard.
And at this moment, just before we come to Aveltria, who is going to attempt to cast, but Cassandra will not attempt on you. Aveltria, give me a perception check. But weirdly, can I take 2? Or... Behave yourselves. Fucking idiots.
The first romance of the game. What are you talking about?
Yay! The lizard folk and the halfling, the caster and his dinner, a relationship, Aveltria?
Sorry, I missed. Did you ask me for something?
Yeah, I did. I asked you for 2. 2 perception checks, please, one after the other, because you're looking for 2 completely different things.
Okay, they're both terrible. One is 7 and one is 12.
Great. The 7 won't cut it.
The
The 12, however, is enough to notice at least one thing. The Cassandra is nervous, frightened, even. You've never seen it like this before. It's a big change. What Aveltria didn't notice, though, however, Ziggy, you would find impossible to miss because they're right next to you. The Lagon brother, Matthias, is doing a jig upon his table as his sister just gives him command after command after command. This is obviously incredibly natural for her. Not only is she an enchantment wizard, but she's a good one.
I thought Cassandra was an enchantment wizard as well.
Did I actually physically tell you that? I did, yeah? Cool, good. Yeah, she is an enchantment wizard. Make of that what you will for now. She's not rolling a disadvantage, but she is terrified. What would Aveltria do in this situation? Before we come to your turn at casting the spell.
Just gonna sit there for a second. Do I say anything? Do I have to say anything?
No, not
I
at
have
all.
to say something. No, she's thinking to herself.
Oh, right, sorry. I thought you were asking me. Like, you have to say anything? Like, okay, you play your character. Not me.
No. So, finding things difficult for one.
I decided to study enchantment because it's the magic I've seen the most use of. In Yakan, the Duranti and the lizard folk, they live side by side and they politic. They assassinate each other while smiling at each other over tea. They slip narcotics into each other's breakfasts and look at them like their best friend. You never know if somebody's your friend in that world. But my mother was an excellent enchantress, and she would use it freely on my father to the point that he didn't know who he was. I thought I wanted that power, but I don't want to become like that bitch. She nods towards, I renamed her, and I can't remember what I renamed her to. So we're going to stick with her previous name, which was Evandria, I believe? Evadria?
Eladria.
Eladria, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have her renamed somewhere, but I can't remember what it was. Eladria Lagon, who is clearly a bitch and is using it to get her own way in every sense. I don't want to become my mother. Maybe I picked the wrong magic. I was really impressed with Hadris yesterday. The evocation magic, even if I got myself thrown out. Maybe that's what I should have studied, I don't know. But it feels wrong to me. At this point, Lady Vanya has... you've noticed that she's coming closer, Valtria, but it didn't seem right to stop Cass. And you notice that Vanya is listening to everything that Cass is saying. She puts her hand on her shoulder and... Worthy thoughts. And then just moves on. What is your response, Valtria?
I mean, sure, it's fair to say that nobody wants to take anybody's free will away. But if someone's coming to kill me, I'm gonna tell them to stop, if I have to.
Just... It seems politer in some weird way to throw a fireball at somebody than to force them to do it to themselves or to look themselves to their own death, you know? More honorable or some stupid nonsense. Oh, I don't know. Go on, give it your go.
It's not about what you can do. It's about how you do it.
Yeah, you're right. Commanding her to make a fool of herself might be fun, no? She really is a bitch, isn't she? Go on then, give it your go. Don't make me fly off the table like Ziggy. What are you going to attempt to get her to do, Valtria?
I suggest you lay on the desk.
I rolled a 2, so that's a 12 DC? Oh, sorry, a 14 DC on your Arcana? I think in the last 2 classes I actually did a flat roll for all of you, didn't I? Not individually, but then again we didn't go round individually, so go on.
I did roll a 14 straight. Is that this?
Yeah.
I like a 7 plus 7.
Yeah, that's a pass. 14 is exactly what you needed to pass. And she sort of lays down on the desk and then... she fights it off pretty quick. Like, she barely touches the desk before she's straight out of it. And you see her eyes sort of flash angrily at you before she relaxes a little bit. And that's the other reason I don't like it. I don't like how it feels on me either. Well, do you mind if I try it?
Go ahead.
She just, She says the words very quietly, but she doesn't stumble like she did on the sleep. She gets the somatic components perfect. You know, she's a very good wizard. And this is something she should be naturally good at. And, Veltria, you find yourself leaning over and giving her a hug. She looks up at you and, well, sorry. And she sort of shrinks backwards. Congratulations. Those of you who pass, I think that's Bartholomew and Ziggy and Aveltria. You may all take the spell suggestion when you get to level 3. And I think all of you passed on sleep, correct? Nobody failed that. Oh yeah, because I rolled a 2, didn't I? So yeah, it was a DC 6. Cool. So yeah, you may all take your spells, and as the class winds to an end, I need Bartholomew and Ziggy to make a... Excuse me. Been reading suggestion, but what I didn't look at was what type of save it is. Wisdom, there we go. To make a DC 15 wisdom save, both of you. Do either of you roll advantage against charm?
I have advantage on wisdom saving throws.
Why?
I'm a gnome. I have advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws.
Shit, that's strong. Bob, do you roll with advantage because it's charm?
I'm a human.
Oh, you're human. Oh, sorry, I thought you were half elf as well. My apologies. Okay, cool. So did either of you fail? DC 15
No.
wisdom?
No.
Brilliant. Then nothing happens. In that case, I will take a perception check from both of you. It is a DC 22. I think,
+1, so
yeah, I think you
I'm
both
not
need a
gonna
nat 20, right? But give it a go.
I rolled a 19 and got a 20.
even with a nat 20, I wouldn't get it.
No, but a nat 20 will count if you roll a nat 20.
Okay, well, let's see then. I got a 2.
Yeah, it was nearly impossible to get that check. But yeah, I just wanted to see whether you could work out what you were trying to save from. But unfortunately, you cannot. Cool. As you all leave, Cassandra and Aveltria, Vanya gestures for you both to stay while everybody else goes.
As I walk past them both, like to go out, I'll just like whisper in a vulture's ear, "Nerd."
I'll let you off with that, but bear in mind the people at the back usually leave after the people at the front. I'm just saying. That's how that works. The doors at the front, right?
Oh, I do know that.
No, I know you don't. I know you don't. But no. It's a. What do you call this, Jamel?
What
The
do you mean?
seats are like this.
Auditorium?
Yeah, it's got something
I know what you
seating.
mean.
What's it
It's
called,
some-
Jamel? When the seats
know
are
you're talking
higher
about.
at the back than the front. Raked
Oh, I know the
seating.
word, I can't-
It's raked seating. So yeah, the
Okay.
door is
I'll-
not 20 foot up in the air. It's on the ground floor.
Okay, then I'll just minor conjuration and megaphone, "Nerd."
Beautiful. I love it.
To be honest, the only thing I could think of was an amphitheater. So,
Yeah, okay, cool, fine. You're all useless to me. But as you've all left, Veltria and Cassandra are left with Vanya. She looks over to you both, and I heard what you were discussing earlier. In many respects, I agree. The way that the Yuan-Ti and the lizard folk especially specialize in enchantment magic is mildly disturbing. But let me tell you about some of the things that you can do with enchantment magic that are wonderful. If a nasty monster is coming upon your family, you don't have to fight it. You can hold it in place as you get the young ones to safety. You can help somebody to sleep who's having trouble sleeping. You can help somebody laugh who's having trouble laughing, bring them some joy in life. You can use your synaptic magic to interrupt people from doing nasty things to others. You can bring about hope, morale, or lack of hope and lack of morale to armies, causing fights to stop before they've even begun. And all of this with a natural smile. Don't be so fast to dismiss enchantment as any more evil than any other magic. Magic is but a tool. But I'm sure you'll be told that by your next teacher. Layla can explain far better than I how not all magic is evil or good as such. But in the meantime, I think that perhaps the two of you over some valuable lessons here. I wanted to give you a book each. And she goes and gets a book out from her store, from her sort of, she's got some shelves at the back. It's like a wheelable bookcase with a front door on it, and she opens that door and she pulls out two tiny little books. And it's The Art of Resisting Enchantment. You may study this book, and we will come back to it later if Aveltria is interested in it. Cassandra most definitely is. But this is on resisting enchantment. Okay. And she turns to you both and... Well, anyway, you better hurry along. You'll be late for your necromancy lesson.
Ashley's just gonna mutter under her breath, I'm pretty sure I said all that.
I'm pretty sure you did too, but unfortunately I wrote her speech before I asked you what you were going to say. Okay, cool. So let me take us to your necromancy lesson. So what's going to happen here is you're all going to file into the corridor. You got a 15-minute break. I don't know if there's anything you want to do in that 15 minutes.
Yes.
Yes?
Do I know of any sort of wildlife that can actually understand Draconic?
Wildlife? In what sense?
Something, anything, maybe perhaps some sort of any live creature that we can experiment upon. Nothing dangerous, but
What
something that
is
can understand
draconic?
draconic.
No, you'd have to be able to speak to a beast to speak to a beast. Are you looking to practice enchantment magic? Is that what you're getting at?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay,
I don't want to practice on a human or any type of being.
No, but you would know about the practice dummies as such that are summoned into the practice halls. These are like they're not mindless because they can still be cast suggestion, etc. on, but they're somewhat mindless servants that are summoned by the conjuration wizards. They're there provided for you to practice on. If you wish to go to the practice halls later and practice your enchantment skills, you can.
Yeah, so like during class, what I usually do is when I'm listening to the teacher, I also will tell my unseen servant to write down certain notes and things that I want to reveal, to understand and analyze later on.
Okay. Well, perhaps you will take notes yourself as you walk into this class. And you see Layla. She has already stood in there. And she, at the moment, she's empty-handed. You don't see the things in her hand, but she wears a black dress that is pulled scandulously to the side of one leg. And what appears to be almost a metal bodice. She's an elf. She has a very high-collared necklace on. And she's looking around the class with a little dark smile on her face. Come on in. Come in.
What's her name, sorry?
Layla. Not L-A-Y. That will upset me. Ah! Not like that either. That's fucking abysmal. I don't know what that abomination was, the first word I typed. But L-E-I-L-A. Layla. Okay. And eventually, as you all come in, she looks around to you. Necromancy. The most powerful of magic arts. A simple transference of life, or the summoning of animated undead monsters. Though technically that's illegal. Necromancy is an incredibly powerful art. Your very life essence bleeding from within you. And she raises her hands and you see these black gloves that let her fingernails come out that are really long and sort of etched with diamonds. And each one of you feels a pull on your soul as you sort of feel a bit weak. Yeah, or not so much. Hi guys, I'm Layla. I'll be teaching necromancy. Necromancy is no dark art, nor is it a nasty art. It is a very simple art, it's the transference of life magic, and that can be used both for nefarious purposes, just as any other magic can, or for the greater good. You can give a little of your own life essence to help somebody, a friend who is injured upon the battlefield, to help in hospitals. Many necromancers help in hospitals because it is an easier art than learning to heal directly. We have to beseech no god, we just give a little of ourselves. There is also the wonderful artistry of, you know, the sort of materials we use, and yes, there's the occasional bone and skull. And I sort of like how that looks. And she gestures towards a bracelet on her arm that is little tiny skulls of some sort of beast. But it's not all darkness and drab. Come on now. Get your spellbooks out, please. And your spellbooks. Get your textbooks out, please. And turn to page 8. I would like to teach you all about buffering yourself with life energy. Summoning life energy from around you and placing it upon yourself. For this lesson, we will be summoning life. We will be draining life from plants. So, and she gestures, and a live pot plant will appear on each person's table. Now, all I want you to do is absorb some of the magic within this living being. Excuse me.
Do you need a glass of water, miss?
Yeah. Water's actually a pretty good shout. I need something else, but I don't know where it is, Josh.
8 wizard just shaped water toward the teacher in that one moment.
Oh no, teacher died.
Nope, I misclicked. 1. Welcome back. Sorry about the impromptu break. It's just I decided to start dying of asthma. However, Layla looks at you all, and you're going to be draining the life force from this plant and placing it upon yourself. The spell you will attempt to be casting is False Life if you haven't got that so far. And this is going to be a flat DC across the lot. Obviously, Kira, you will be rolling at regular. Everybody else will be rolling at disadvantage. And the DC today is an 11.
So does it mean anything if we know it already?
You already have the spell False Life?
Yes.
It means you don't have to roll and you will succeed, but it also means you can't get anything.
I don't fully have it. I can just use it once per long rest.
Why?
It's my Strixhaven initiative.
Oh, fuck that
spell I
bollocks.
took.
Yeah, roll for it.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know there was a once per long rest thing going on.
You can only cast it without a spell slot once per long rest.
Yeah,
You can
without a
continue
spell.
to cast it.
Oh, yeah, you can cast
Yeah.
it with a spell slot whenever you like. Yeah, so you do already know it. So yeah, you don't need to roll. However, we will come first to Bartholomew.
I rolled an 11 for a 16.
Beautiful. With disadvantage, yeah?
Yeah. With advantage, I got a 17 for a 23. I mean, the first one I got 11 for a 16, and then the second one I rolled a 17 for a 23.
Right, yeah, you rolled with disadvantage, so I'm checking. Cool. Marvelous. So yeah, but without sort of hesitation, you are able to drain the life of the plant, and you see that the plant sort of shrivels and goes brown as you feel bolstered. Please make the roll for your temp HP. You might as well.
Rolling?
I think it's a 1d4 plus 4.
Yep.
I mean, just because you can, it'll give you 1d4 plus 4 temp HP.
That's a 4 for an 8.
Right, you got 8 temp
Right.
HP.
And then I'll minor conjuration and napkin. And just...
Also, please take note, those of you who are going to be learning False Life, please take a note that False Life is one of the spells where I have edited the material component. You cannot drain the life of spirits, alcohol or not. You can, however, drain life from life. All necromancy spells will require a material component that is alive if they have a maneuvering of life. Obviously, not all of them do so. Inflict wounds, ray of sickness, etc. do not necessarily. You're draining life, not.
Why do I have a feeling Zas is gonna Shang Tsung us all?
Shansung?
Shang Tsung us all.
I don't
Your
know who or
soul
what that
is
is.
mine.
Okay. I guess it's something dark and evil.
It's Mortal Kombat, James. Come
Oh,
on.
I don't give a shit. DC, what was your roll?
16.
Fantastic. You are also able to shrivel your plant and cast upon yourself. Cadmus, your roll.
Let me just double check that one. I think it was 16. 12, sorry. No, it was 12.
Well, sorry, some of you rolling on... Yeah, some of you are rolling on here. I can actually see this.
Sorry, I was just wrong for fun.
What? I'm so confused.
Don't worry
your
about this
original
roll,
check was a
this,
16. Okay, great. Cadmus, your roll was
12.
a 12. Did you also roll a disadvantage? Yeah, you did. Okay. Fine.
Yeah, if it was if it was normal, it would have been a nat 20.
Yeah, I see that now. Cool. So as you shrivel your plant on the table, you are able to buffer yourself with life. All of you can add your temp HP if you wish, but honestly, I don't see it coming into play. Veltria, please.
19.
19. You are also able to shrivel your plant and cast on yourself. Zas, rolling straight. What was your roll?
18.
18. Now, for you, something interesting happens. Although you manage to drain some life from the plant and buffer yourself, the plant doesn't die. It wilts a little, and it looks a little drier and a little more harmed, but you realize you could probably use this as a component 2 or 3 more times. You could also choose to let the energy go, and instead of finishing with yourself having temp HP, you could put it back in the plant and let the plant restore itself.
That's what I'll do.
As Layla walks over, she... Well. We have ourselves a necromancer. Not difficult to understand the transference of magic that simply. You held it in yourself, but the movement is not simply a one-way journey. as you've noticed.
Yes.
Excellent work. Most impressive. There is a spell for this I am going to give you, but my god, can I find it? What a fucking tool. With me. As I look at... Oh, I think it might be a level 2 spell. I think that may be the problem.
That's what I was going to do anyway. I was going to try it afterwards. I was just going to put it back to the plant. I didn't want the plant to die.
So for now, you can just keep it as it is. There is a necromancy spell for doing exactly the opposite of what you've just done, which is draining your own life to give 10 HP to somebody else, but I either haven't added it properly or it's a higher level than I thought it was. So we'll deal with that at another time.
Okay.
But yes, well done, Tess. And we will move on to the more complicated lesson of the day. She looks around the class. This is a much more difficult spell, and will require me not to misclick. Will require a lot of faith on your parts. Please pair up, and should have gestures for you all to pair up. I'll come first to Cadmus. Are you pairing up with anybody in particular? Or are you guys just going to return to the pairs you had in your previous lesson?
I could return to the pair previously. That
Right,
works.
that will make my life a lot easier. Bang! You're all paired up. Okay. This is a little more dangerous. You're going to be casting a spell called Wither and Bloom. You will need to both... you could cast this on plant life, but we're not going to. You're going to cast this on somebody draining from a plant. Appearing on your table again will be a well-looked after plant. For reference, if you were to add this spell to your spellbook, this will require any living material. And the same for false life. Anything where you're taking life away and putting it elsewhere. However, there is also a dead component as such. She could be giving you a withered vine, and that will allow you to do the damage as and when, but it won't be as replenishable for her. So those are the two different materials. Now, I come first to Veltria. Veltria, your DC is...
I rolled double 3s, so that's a 10.
Yeah, you failed. I can't even do the maths on that. What's 9 plus 12? 21. What was the DC? There we go. I worked it out eventually. I come next to DC as Veltria. Simply nothing happens. You focus on Cassandra, but nada. Ziggy, your DC is a 19. No, I can't check with disadvantage, please.
Ooh, nat 1.
Nat 1. Sick. Also for you, nothing happens. This is a complicated spell. Bartholomew, your DC is a 20.
It's 11.
No. Again, nothing happens. And finally, Cadmus. That's an 18. You're rolling a disadvantage.
Yeah.
DC 18.
Oh, well, that's not one.
Fantastic. So you all roll, but nothing happens.
I don't think I rolled yet.
No, not you. We'll come into you in a moment.
Oh.
You, however, had the delight of pairing up with Heta, remember?
You're right. I'm going to die.
Yeah. Quite possibly. No, you're not going to die. She has cast something. It's not the right spell. But she's done a brilliant job of making the plant bloom to a really quite big size. Later sort of lets out a little laughter, and you know, just because there's more of it doesn't mean there's more life force in it. It's not going to make casting it any easier, Heta. An easy slip. Yes, Sass?
Excuse me. What spell did she cast?
She casts plant growth, I believe. It's usually a druid thing. Heta sort of sheepishly looks over, and that is my speciality. It comes naturally when I'm worried about getting something wrong, and I really don't want to get this spell wrong, because from what I understand it, there's an area of effect on it, and, well, you know what I'm like. I'll have a fireball or something.
I'll write that down. Plant growth.
Yeah, you're a little way off that. I believe it's a 3rd or 4th level spell. But nevertheless, and then she tries again. You see her scrunch her face really hard, and the plant just sort of withers slightly. That's all that happens. We will come to Zaz in a moment, but first of all, Aveltria, you will both feel a wave of necrotic energy come over you as the plant in Cassandra's hand withers and dies, and you take 10 necrotic damage. Fear not if that's about to knock you out, because you will immediately be restored back by Layla. So don't bother putting the damage in, but it will fucking hurt.
Good thing for my
Bartholomew-
5 temp HP.
You can withstore all that as well. But yes, DC and Bart, you obviously both failed on each other. Bryson will make his attempt on Cadmus. Oh my goodness. No. I forgot I was rolling at disadvantage, and then I severely failed. Header is completely failed, and so we come to Zas. Zas, I will take a straight roll, please. Your DC is an 18.
15.
Oh, not quite. The teacher looks at you, and Layla looks at you, and I thought you were a natural necromancer. Here, let me show you. And she sort of guides your hand, and you got everything about the spell right, but your somatic movement, your actual hand movements weren't quite correct. She explains that perhaps, she asks you if perhaps you have an affinity for plants.
Yes, I have my own garden.
I see. You're being far too gentle with the plant. That is your problem. Perhaps it knocked you off your perch. I will give you a second attempt at this, as it is your school. And as yet, nobody else has failed to get a spell for their own school. So let's see what you can do. This time...
Oh, that's way better.
Yeah, okay. Still the same DC?
23.
23, fantastic. And you are able to write Wither and Bloom into your spellbook when you level up. Which won't be long, I promise. Yeah. And as you sort of take this in, she looks at you and, much better. And then she sort of gestures at the plant and restores that before restoring Heta. And then she sort of gestures again at Heta. Give me an insight check, please. Zas.
Both.
You know that she must be pulling the life from somewhere to be giving it to somewhere else, but she's definitely not hurting herself to do so. Yet she's healing effortlessly everyone in the room who's damaged. Go on, Bud.
What are the brother and sister doing?
What are the brother and sister doing? Both of them look like they've got constipation. Neither of them has succeeded at the spell. They're just
I think
concentrating really hard. Carry on, Tess.
No, I think upon seeing that, I would come straight out and ask her. Curious, where are you pulling this from?
An excellent question. And she shows you that in her, sort of under her skirt, strapped to her leg, she has a jar of sort of insects and fireflies and such. And a few of them are dead at the bottom. She's actually draining the life of them completely. Using animals is... well, it's frowned upon, to be honest, by the Academy, but... is an insect even an animal, really? I mean, come on, they're gross. And not only that, but to use enough plants to be healing everybody in my classes over and over again, well, I'd be exhausted. And I know I could hire one of the clerics, but I'm trying to teach that we can give life as well as take it away, you know? And I don't want to be not giving life, so shh, don't tell anyone. And she pops it back under her skirt and puts it over. But yes, a good necromancer always has an emergency source of life and a renewable source of life with them. A plant of sorts and something a little more desperate. You know, I had a friend. She was laid low, very low, on her explorations in a mine quite far away. She was seeking to quell a nasty beast that they'd discovered having dug too far, and she was, as I said, laid low, a large slash across her chest, and she had a companion, a flying snake that had been with her for years. But she spoke with it, and it gave her its life for her in that moment. Sometimes moments like that, necromancy can far outclass regular healing magic. If life is given willingly. It can make a big difference. Anyway, enough of that negative, sad stuff. Goodness me, what are you doing at the back of the class there, girl? As you see that, Aveltria and Cass are practicing on each other, but Cass has succeeded multiple times. Aveltria, you've taken quite a pummeling. She will heal you again, but she sort of...
I would have cure wounds myself.
If you were still standing, I think, is the answer to that. But Cassandra is really quite... Having really screwed up in her last lesson, she's being over enthusiastic. She's sort of, oh God, sorry. Didn't think about it. I just, Oh, yeah, and she will also attempt to heal you. Wait, why can you cast Cure Wounds? Sorry, run that by me again. Wait, what the fuck?
Spell from my origin.
Fuck you, Kira, this Strixhaven bullshit. Fucking Cure Wounds wizard. Just to let you know, there is a material component on Cure Wounds, but never mind. We'll get there when we get there. Cool, I didn't think anybody was going to be casting divine magic spells. Have I missed anyone? You've all had your rolls, right? Yes? Good. Okay, speak up or forever hold your peace. I believe the only person capable of writing this into their spellbook would be Zas. This is something you will regularly experience. Necromancy spells are just harder to get the hang of. Because of their sort of the transference of life as such. Also, has our music stopped?
Might have.
No, it's just gone very quiet. It's those crickets are back at it. Cool. So yeah, Zas, you are the only one able to write your spell into your book, and he sort of looks you all over. And just remember, necromancy is not evil, unless you're summoning weird animated skeleton dudes. It's nasty and mean. Don't do that, unless the bones give you permission.
Did we learn false life?
Yes. I don't think anybody failed that, did they? No. Okay, good. Actually, did somebody say Nat 1? Or was that... No, the Nat 1 was in trying to learn this. Yes, I remember. Okay, good. So yeah, you are all able to learn False Life, but none of you are able to learn Wither and Bloom apart from Zaz. Okay, and she will let you go for lunch. Are you all going for lunch together?
Well, as we walk out, I'm gonna minor conjuration a skull. I'm gonna hold it with one hand and use my other hand to open the mouth. And be like, Zaz, resurrect me.
That's quite good. Perhaps you have a future in theater.
Thank you. I died on the stage.
I think I would. Has Hedda left yet?
No. But go ahead and take inspiration. That was phenomenal. Yes, Hedda is still present.
That spell you cast, are you able to cast it at will, or was that purely by accident?
I was offered a scholarship here because of my ability in the more natural arts. Not originally as a wizard, but that's what I wanted to study and become. In the most technical of terms, she's a multi-class. She's got levels in Druid. So no, she can't teach you this.
No, I didn't want to learn
explain,
it.
But she will explain to you that I can cast it, but it does take a lot out of me. So perhaps I would be able to do so again tomorrow. Why so?
I am working on something myself. As you probably know, lizard folk don't live that long. I'm trying to work my way through with plants to see if there's a way to increase our longevity.
Oh, how fascinating. Have you spoken to Helena?
Who is Helena?
Sorry, yeah, I shouldn't have done that to you. You would know Helena quite well. She's the alchemy teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just threw that at you. Why do you not know that, fool? Let's just make a note to write down the teachers of the non-magical classes so you guys will know who I'm referring to. Yes, okay. Have you spoken to Helena about your studies?
Okay.
Have you spoken to Helena about your studies?
Helena? 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 Hel Not as of yet. But I will. I will take my books to her and ask her as well.
It is her that taught me that spell. She is very good at it.
Okay.
You know, she spends 2 hours every day down in the gardens where they grow all the components for the spells, just growing them for the academy. She's the most powerful druid.
Okay. I think I'll look toward everybody else. I will not take lunch. I will perhaps go see Helena.
Yep, go on, Bart.
But you'll be skin and bones like me.
Um, I'll reach in my pocket. Maybe I'll grab something to eat on the way.
You have a manufacturing robe, do you not?
I do actually.
Cloak,
you're right.
actually, yes. You can go to bury your way through
Yeah.
one meal in a day.
This will suffice.
Yeah. Ooh, easy. Tasty. Well, in that case, let's go visit Helena. Because Helena's somebody I like a lot. Let me just... I have the art for her. Let me go and find her. Do I have the art for her? I know I've got the art for her, but... Nope. We will have the art for her post-session. I can't find it. I know I put it somewhere. As you enter the room, you see this sort of gnarly woman. She's sort of got glasses on, and she looks down her nose at you. As you headed to her office, I'm assuming, which is where she would take lunch. It says Helena, head alchemist.
Oh.
You knock on the door and... Come in.
I am sorry to disturb.
Oh, Zaz, it's never disturbing. I know your fascination with plants. Please, tell me, what troubles you?
Well, I decided to come clean about the experiment I'm working on. As you already know, that lizard folk don't live long.
No?
And I want to see if there's a way to increase combining alchemy and necromancy to increase their longevity.
I'm not sure about combining necromancy. The famed potion of longevity it's makeable. In fact, it's not that complicated. The problem is the ingredients. For where does one find dragon's blood? If you could perhaps replace that with necromancy. What a wonderfully interesting experiment. I shall have to talk to Layla. Did you by any chance just have a lesson with Layla?
I did.
Fascinating, no?
Quite.
She teaches well. I'll have a talk with Layla about this, and perhaps we might do some studying together.
Please.
I'll call you in as well. I mean, this is your idea. I've never thought about that. If she can transfer energy from one plant to another, well, perhaps. Interesting. Oh, child, you made me think. She calls everybody child, by the way. It's not a personal slight.
Yeah.
She's about 640 years old, and she's definitely human. You know, she's like withered as it gets. Oh, excellent. I'll look into that. Get yourself some lunch. You'll be all skin and bones.
You're right. Thank you. I
Thank
guess
you.
I was excited. I don't know what to tell you.
That's good. Excitement makes for stronger learning.
Thank you. I'll let you return to your lunch.
Thank you. Yes, I'm already all skin and bones. He chuckles and sort of keeps eating on the strange fruit bowl she's got in front of her. And unless anybody has anything else they'd like to do over lunch, we will whiz into lesson 3 of the day. Fantastic.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would do is I don't think I had the chance to do it yet. Was I would just say it just like Veltria, I forgot to say thank you, for aiding in my studies.
I mean, it's no problem. You just have to loosen up, Zaz. Your little figurine in fire, it looked like a lizard folk. Just chill. It's fire. It can't be contained.
I never thought of it that way. I still have to write it down.
Well, here's a class where taking notes won't help you in the slightest. as we will move into the class of Karina. After lunch, you will have divination. As you enter in, I've got to send this art straight away on our channel, because honestly, it's my favorite art for a character I've ever seen. Where is the Academy of Shar channel? There we go. This is Karina. Karina is quite stunning. She stands very tall. And she's wearing a sort of fur hat. She's got exquisite boots on and a long black dress. And as you come in, she's sort of standing there, looking distantly beyond you all. Come in, take a seat.
Is she human?
Give me an insight check.
$15?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to make a note of what race she was.
I can't give you that. You don't know. But you know she's not human. And she's not half-elf or elvish or any other race that any of you are, basically. Okay. She strides from one side of the one side of the stage to the other. For fuck's sake, get your words out. Until all of you are sat at your desks. You all noticeably realize that the Lagon siblings are not present. They haven't turned up to this class. Divination is not an art that you will all succeed at. But some of you, I'm sure, will be very talented. I will teach you a little bit about the magics of divination, but first of all, let's see if any of you are gifted with mysticism. Please. And she gestures, and each one of you will see a empty cup of tea. Beyond Karina the Kalashtar Wizard School. What? Where's Karina the Kalashtar Wizard School student?
For Kira's campaign, that was my character.
Really?
Yeah.
That is magnificent. I just, you know what? I think you write my campaigns without me knowing about it.
Wow.
I will therefore tell you that is her race. Just because, why not? I mean, alright, I'm reverted to fucking a Veldria, a Valdria, a Maldria, and a Taldria, and siblings and twins, and now she's got a backup character that's my divination teacher. Fuck you. Just go away. I'm done with you. Anyway, so you all see like an empty cup of tea where the leaves have been steeped in water. Please look into your cups and study deeply. Look to me and see what shapes you can see. You! She stops in front of Cadmus Golden Skin. Tell me, child, what do you see? This is entirely up to you.
I see a strange-looking pattern. Not much else.
What sort of pattern? You see anything
Look.
moving in the pattern? Any creatures? Any beings?
Maybe something. I don't recognize it though.
That's okay. Aptitude isn't for everyone. And she'll move along. You, lizard folk. What do you see in your teacup?
I see a palace in the forest. A tub in the center of a room with doors.
Grandeur? In a place of simpleness? Why? Such aptitude. I wonder what it could mean. We'll have to interpret that together later. Asir, we have one. Do we have others? You. DC they call you, don't they?
Yes, they do.
What do you see in your teacup?
It's pretty obvious, isn't it? It's a teacup.
It is a teacup, but as you look inside and you look at the leaves, do you see shapes, patterns?
I see tea.
Yeah.
Even Matt can't keep himself straight faced.
Oh god.
I'm just gonna walk on because otherwise I'll never get the session done.
Perfect.
She moves. She walks past the empty leg on sibling's chair. Fuck you, man. Okay. She walks past the empty leg on sibling's table, and she walks onto the second row. And she moves over in front of Hetta. What do you see, child? Hetta looks in, and you can see she's taken this very seriously. I think maybe a sheep or a goat. Karina looks down. Is there a goat or sheep in your life currently? Perhaps one that's special to you? You can see Hedda thinks very deeply about this question before eventually replying. I don't think so, miss. No goat is more special to me than any other goat. Maybe it's in a field? Karina looks down. Well, this must be important to you somehow. Perhaps one day you might be wandering in a field with a goat or a sheep, and something might happen to you. Keep it in mind, it's important. She moves over again, and she gets to Bryson. Tell me, child, what do you see? Bryson looks in. I see swirling. A most, interesting pattern. Perhaps a chair or a seat. Could it be a throne? Well, I suppose it could be a throne. It's not very elegant, but... Well, perhaps a throne. Perhaps you're to be a king. Wonderful, interesting. She moves up in front of Cassandra. What do you see? Cassandra looks in. Bottom of the cup. Dismissive. Until divination saves your life. Well, we can't all be seers. She moves over to a Beltria. Tell me, child, what do you see?
I see trees. Dead trees.
Dead or burnt?
No, dead.
Oh, withered. That's most terrifying. Is it a forest you recognize? It is near here?
No, I don't recognize it.
Oh. Terrifying. Well, not with those dark thoughts. I am to teach you some magic after all, am I not? Oh, some of you will inevitably fail. I know. She sort of heads back down, left-hand side of the corridor. She comes to a boy who you guys don't all know. His name is Petrus. And he is a half-elf. He doesn't attend any other classes. But you have seen him once in politics. Petrus has his tea in front of him and he looks to him. I see a flower floating in the wind. I see clouds passing over, but fast, very fast, like time is passing quickly. And I see a woman stand there with her arms out wide, as if holding the moon and the sun in place as they pass in the sky. I see people come and go, lives begin and end. And this flower floats so slowly down to the ground. She looks at him. Another vision. Write it down. Write it down, Petrus. Who knows what it is to me? Petrus here foresaw something else. It is the reason he came to the school. Nobody believed him when as a child. He said that his city would fall into the water. And yet, he was right. Don't dismiss the arts of seeing. And what of you? Oh, follow me, right? What do you see in your cup?
I see the Grim.
What is Grim? The Grim
It's
what?
one of the most dark omens of our time.
I don't know what you're speaking about.
It's in the shape of a black dog.
A black dog? Do you know a black dog? Is there any black dog that's particularly special to you?
No.
Perhaps it's somebody else's dog. Perhaps the owner of this dog is somebody who is going to play a large part in your life. I don't know. You called it Grim, did you not? What is grim about it?
Fuck you, Jane.
She's not Trelawney! Quite different. Well, alas. On the note of your grim dog, I hope it's not too dirty when you meet it.
I'll
Perhaps,
be dirty under this cup.
perhaps we should learn some magic. Should we not? I can't promise that any of you will be out, but we can at least give it a go. Now, the first thing I'm going to teach you is a simple gift, an understanding, the understanding of one another. Please, here are your material components, and she sort of gives you a gesture. Ah! No! Don't click that! Rubbish! As she will give you the materials for... Ah, no, she can't do that. She can give you this instead. Sorry, let me change that slightly. I've just realized something. She will give you the art of seeing briefly for a moment how the field of a battle may lie. There are no material components. This is the simple art of understanding where to be or when to be, precisely. It should be easy if you're a seer at heart, but difficult if you're not. Oh! That's a 17 for our first level spell. Please, make your rolls a disadvantage, and I will come first to Zaz.
16 and a 19.
A tragedy. Close, but not quite. Cadmus? Cadmus?
That's a no.
That's a no.
Yeah, it was rolling.
That's a no from him. Ziggy.
11.
The arts of divination don't fly easily to you. But at least you could see the tea in your cup, I guess. Bartholomew?
I don't want to have it, but I rolled a 17.
You don't want gift of alacrity? Well, you can have it if you want.
I don't see it for Bart, but I rolled a 17.
If you dismiss the art of divination, you may ignore it if you wish, but don't
want to
forget what's
actively
in the eye.
dismiss it. I just don't think it's something that I like having.
Don't
with
ever
Bart.
prepare or cast it then.
Okay,
But you can at least learn it into your book. Veltria.
23.
23. Good hell. Alright, well, the two of you can take gift of alacrity. She looks at you both and, well, it would seem you at least know when to be, if not where to be. Perhaps we should move on to something a little more complex. If I could really stop misclicking, it would be wonderful. It's the number of times I open a spell. It's driving me mental.
What's it called, sorry?
A gift of alacrity. Now here's a spell that is most interesting. I would like to teach you something that requires an expensive component. On your desk you will each find a measurement of powdered gemstones. This is a ½ pound of powdered gemstones,
Jesus.
which is probably almost 50 gold pieces worth. We're going to be practicing this all day. You either have the aptitude or you do not. And it's a flat DC for all of you of 22. Please roll with disadvantage, all of you.
I can't find it on my spell sheet.
Gift of Alacrity.
Yeah.
It's chronomancy.
That's
homebrew.
chronomancy? Shouldn't be chronomancy. What?
It's a first level divination, but it's specifically for Tunamancy.
Okay. I don't know whether there's something we have to turn on in your class. I don't know if you
I
turn
think it might
everything
need homebrewed to be added to the spell list.
on. He's definitely got access to homebrew. I think it might be critical role content.
Yeah.
That's what I turned on. But it still didn't come up.
Okay, we'll have a look later. Regardless, did anybody manage to pass the 22 with disadvantage?
No.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
In fact, every single member of the class failed, except for one, which is Petrus. And she turns around to you all and, well, we have one person who was successful, but for the rest of you, perhaps a gift from me. If you will give a gift to me first. I'd like each of you to come forth and stand upon the stage and tell me what you see in this crystal ball. And she calls over first to Veltria. And she's going to work her way from the back of the class forwards. As you look into this crystal ball of Veltria, tell me what you see.
Probably the same forest.
Okay. The dead forest again, eh? It plays upon your mind. Must be a true vision. Well, if you see anything further in it, perhaps in your dreams. You do write down your dreams, don't you, girl?
I don't want to remember my dreams.
Well, they may foretell things most important. Unless, do you dream of the past?
Of course I do.
If you need help with that, please see me outside of class. But for now, well done. Cassandra? Cassandra comes down, looks in the crystal ball, briefly. It's blue. Empty. Oh, perhaps you see the sky. Perhaps you... No. It's the color of the pedestal underneath. I do not see anything. I am no seer. And she storms out the class. Next, she calls down Heta. Heta looks into the crystal ball. Oh no. I see myself dropping this on the floor. She sort of jumps backwards as if to avoid doing so, and as she does so, she bumps her hand into it. It rolls off and crashes on the floor in a shattering. Well, at least you saw it coming. Would have been nice if you could have done something about it, girl. She gestures to mend it into a ball, but it's useless to her now, and she puts it back up in a cupboard, and she gets another one down and places it upon the pedestal. Bartholomew. Down, please.
Okay, I'll go up and...
Oh, you're very eager, aren't you? What do you see?
Well, Hare just got a self-fulfilling prophecy. Well, who knows what I could get? And I'll put my hands over the ball. Oh no! Oh, this is awful.
Oh?
I don't know if I should say.
Of course you should say, child.
I saw Cadmus. He failed all his lessons. He's crying and all alone in the library. No one will talk to him.
Give me a deception check.
Excuse me.
Give me a deception check.
There's a 21.
Okay. She comes over and looks into the pool. You're right. Oh dear. What a crisis. Well, you must study hard, Cadmus.
Don't
You'll
worry,
fail
Cadmus.
everything.
I'll help you study.
It's okay, that's not gonna happen ever.
Well, Cadmus. Come on, have a look in the crystal ball. Oh, you poor thing. Come on. It's okay. I'm sure you'll see something. Well done, Bartholomew.
As I walk past him, I'll put my hand on his shoulder. I'm so sorry.
You
Katniss,
son of a bitch.
what do you see on the crystal ball?
I see a duel.
A duel? Between you and who?
Not with me.
Oh, a duel with two others.
powerful wizards.
Two powerful wizards, you say? Do you recognize either of them?
One of them looks like someone who was teaching here, but older,
Oh,
more powerful.
who would it be?
Don't have their name.
Oh, who's the teacher? What do they teach?
I don't know I don't know their name. I just it's someone that I would have seen somewhere before,
Oh,
but
okay,
I don't have
see.
the name.
Right, okay, that's fine. Cool. And do you see anything else? Who's the other one? Where are they dueling?
All I can see is they're robed. They've got their face covered, dark hood. It's a wide open plain, forests in the background, and looks like Townstead in the distance. Small.
Could be anyone. Well, that's something to worry about, isn't it? Well done. At least you didn't fail that. Next, she looks over to Bryson. Come and have a look. Bryson peers in. I see an eye, I believe. It's a large eye. Oh, wait. And then you see he sort of moves over so that his head's in front of the light and he's not getting his own reflection. And then takes another look. Eye. Oh dear. Well, I see a dragon. A full dragon. It's a deep gold color, perhaps brass. And it flies low upon the academy. Oh, well, that must just be your imagination. Zaz, come forth.
Yes, Professor.
Tell me, what do you see?
It's a little cloudy. I swear this forest looks familiar. However, I see a chalice, blood.
Oh my, a dark imagination you have.
I'm not sure what this is supposed to mean.
A chalice, blood, some sort of dark ritual. Well, I hope it's not the students who are doing it. Thank you. And lastly, she will call up reluctantly Ziggy. She sort of looks at him. Come on then, let's see whether you can apply your eye to it. What do you see?
I look in and just... I see my good friend Idril, who's back at home. I really do miss him.
Oh, good. I knew you'd be able to see something. Perhaps you will see him soon. You will visit him soon. Who is to know? However, one of you had a very vivid vision that was consistent throughout the day. Seen in various different places. Veltria. And she will give you a scroll of the spell you failed to learn. Fortune's Favor. You will not be able to write this to your spellbook, but you will be able to use it at some point. Cool. And with that, she says, well, it doesn't take a seer to realize you're all going to be late to your next lesson. Please hurry along. She gestures futilely. And you have one lesson left in the day. It is transmutation. So, as you all
And Veltria leaves class very quickly.
Okay. Good. For reference, she would have believed absolutely anything you saw. Unless you were Jamal. No, she would have believed absolutely anything you saw, so that's interesting. Okay. I actually think that Gift of Alacrity is not a wizard spell.
It is. It's a wizard dunamancy spell.
So why doesn't it come up at all?
It's only available to dunamancy wizards.
Oh, I see. Right, okay. That makes more sense. Okay. Well, that's how we did that by mistake. Marvelous. So, next we will go to transmutation class. There's only a short break between, and then off we go. When you come in, you will see a woman perfectly prepared. She stands before you in a long dress, glowing with gold around her. She's not in a forest, but that's the best art I could find. And she sort of gestures for you all to come in and... This class, take a seat. Transmutation is not particularly powerful. Sorry, go on, Bart.
What's her name, sorry?
Grace.
Grace. Is she a human?
She appears to be. Perhaps. No, sorry. Complete rubbish. She's an elf. She's an elf. I'm looking at the picture, but I haven't looked at my notes. She's most definitely an elf. And she looks down at you and... Transmutation is not the most powerful of magical arts, but it is one of the most useful. Especially here at the Academy, it is incredibly valued. I'm not going to bore you all with simplicity and easy stuff. Today we are going to attempt to learn a spell that is complex and difficult, and most useful to everyone. Now, upon your desks you will find a small leather loop, and you will find a simple large ball. You will focus, and you will repeat the following incantation, and you will lift it from the desk with nothing but your mind. The spell today we're going to teach you is levitation. Can I help you? Would you like to press your microphone before saying whatever that was?
I said, that's transmutation? Question mark.
Nah, just making it up as I go along. Yes, it's transmutation.
It's sorry. I believe you. It's just me. I'm like, really?
That's what it'd be. It's changing the state of something.
Sure, I guess.
Brilliant. I will be setting homework, however. So, let me come and give out your homework before I get you practicing this. And she will hand each of you a scroll of Longstrider. You may go and study it in your own time and see whether you can write it into your spellbook. But for now, please focus on your levitations. The DC is 17.
Wow.
I thought that would be harder. All of you at disadvantage apart from Cadmus, of course, who will be rolling a straight roll. Cadmus, what was your roll?
19.
Excellent. With almost no effort, you focus on the state that the ball is in, and you understand that what you are in fact doing is lightening the ball or making heavier the air around it to support it. And for somebody whose brain works in such an sort of a situation of maths and science and doesn't particularly necessarily apply the magic to much, you see magic as quite a logical and sensible thing. This spell was quite easy to interpret. I will come next to Bartholomew. Bartholomew, how did you do?
I didn't roll very well.
Oh dear. Your ball rolls off the side of the table. You stop it before it hits the floor. Siggy, how did you do?
Rolled 10.
Oh dear. Your ball doesn't roll at all. That's tragedy. Veltria, how did you do?
24.
Oh my! Jesus. What's that? What is your plus? 7?
I've rolled really well with
That's a
disadvantage
plus 7?
twice.
Yeah? Cool. That's
A
great.
nat 20 and a 17 were my rolls.
Okay, you sort of gesture and this ball just rises into the air. However, you do find it quite difficult to maintain concentration and it thumps down upon the desk, signaling to everybody around you that you succeeded. Cassandra sort of looks over at you in surprise. Oh, you picked that up quick. Can only get mine to sort of twitch angrily at me. You also see that one other student has succeeded. For once, it's Heta. She floats the ball in front of her quite easily. Heta is a transmutation wizard as well as a druid. So that is why.
That would explain why.
Yes. And she's sort of floating it around in front of her, and she is finding concentration quite easy until she looks over at what the hell Zas is doing. Zas, what did you roll?
Look at him. Very fiercely, like, I'm not angry, but my face is scrunched. I rolled a 10.
Yes, and what you've managed to do is occasionally, in your concentration and your somatic movements, knock the ball in one direction or another with your hand, but as yet it hasn't moved because of your mind whatsoever. She sort of looks at you and she notices that your hands keep getting really close to it. She loses concentration on her own ball, which sort of thumps down upon her lap. And she goes, ah! Oh, sorry! Sorry, guys, I was... don't worry. Grace looks over. You did excellently to lift it in the first place. Some of you will struggle with this for longer. But let me ask those of you who succeeded. Eveltria? Heta? Will anybody else succeed in the end? She looks over. Oh, Bryson gets a nat 1. His ball ain't moving at all. Really?
Guess someone failed the levitate spell.
Yeah.
Why do we have dice trays?
Matthias! I rolled it in the dice tray. It bounced out. I don't know what that was. Matthias does not succeed. Ah! And our lovely Eladria. I've changed her name, and so it's not to hand. I can't remember what I do them are.
Call
Also
her
fails.
Ella.
Ella? Yeah, I can roll with Ella. Okay, Ella fails. So no, only Hedda and Eveltria. Please head on down to the stage. You see, the spell of levitate is very useful, but it isn't only usable on somebody else. And she gestures and places her hand upon her own chest and rises up into the air. Later on, you may learn to actually fly, but for now, let us see if you can do that again. I will take a straight roll, DC 15, please. Hedda.
12.
Okay, so you sort of rise off the floor like an inch or two, but sort of as you look down, you realize that you are just rising onto your tiptoes. And Hedda sort of rises up into the air with her and keeps rising and keeps rising and keeps rising. As her head is about to hit the ceiling, Grace will, with a gesture, let her drop and then catch her as she gets close to the ground. Don't concentrate too hard. You've got to realize how high you want to be, but you're doing brilliantly, girl. Well done. And, yes, Eveltria, you may write levitate into your spellbook when you hit level 3. However, for expediency's sake, you may all go home, and I will take a straight roll for a 14 DC to get Longstrider into your spellbook if you want it. If you're not particularly interested, you may just accept that you're not particularly interested. Yep, and if you succeed, you can just write it straight in, and if you fail, you can't. I won't ask. However, I will ask, Zas, where would you be at sort of 7:30 in the evening? You have lessons first thing tomorrow morning, so.
Yes. Well, I think I would have asked Hedda one more thing. Seeing as she was able to do it so
Brilliant.
easily.
Hedda is also going to seek you out, so that's why.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I would probably try to talk to Hedda actually about
the two of you bump into each other in the common room, and she sort of looks over at you and, Zas, can I get your help with something?
Does it have to be in here? I'm heading to the training hall.
No, it most definitely can't be in here. Just really quickly, I just want to show you.
Fun.
And she brings you up to her kitchen, and she shows you outside her kitchen was a wonderful selection of plants. I wondered if maybe you could... And she gets a really large plant out from a pot plant. I wonder if you could do that thing you did earlier today, where you moved the life from one thing to another. I was trying to practice. I was downstairs. When I came up, though I hadn't done anything to the pot plant in front of me, it ruined my plant collection.
I
I thought maybe
will.
if you could help me with this. You asked me about casting that spell on your plants. Maybe I might help you with that in the morning.
Yes.
Bit of a trade. Thank you. Give me a spellcasting modifier check, please. Don't know why I said that when it's intelligence. I know it's intelligence. You're all wizards. Give me an intelligence check, please. At advantage,
Okay.
you're casting a spell from the necromancy art.
All right. Nice. 19.
19, plenty. You are able to focus on her large plant and distribute the life magic slowly into each of them. And bring them just alive enough that she will be able to revive them with water and growth. And she, oh, thank you so much. Here, this, take a cutting of this. It's something that's, well, my parents gave it to me a long time ago. It's very special to me.
Thank you.
And she will hand you, bear with me. I'm waiting for it to load. It just says loading with a little circle. That's nice. That's a mistake. There we go. And she will hand you a sample of ironwood heart. It's an unusual plant. You can find the ironwood trees in forests, but not really on Beldania. Only in lands further afar. You get them very far up in the north. And she tells you that she's heard rumors that this can be used for spells of enlarging or reducing the size of certain things, or perhaps in potions of the sort.
Thank you.
It's
This
okay.
will be most useful.
You wanted to go to the training hall? I was headed there myself.
Yes.
Perhaps we can go together. What did you want to talk about?
In transmutation class, you were able to lift the ball effortlessly. I
Practiced a lot.
I'm not much of a. I'm not like Cadmus, who's very. How should I say?
Bookish.
I guess you can say that. He's a bit more mechanical in how he does things, how he looks at magic. Very scientific. That is the proper word I was looking for.
It's the right attitude for transmutation. You could understand the logic of it. The ball won't float if it's heavier than the air, right?
Yes. I am more based on feeling and connection. I was wondering, how does transmutation magic feel to you?
Numbers and letters. Mathematics, science. It's quite simple. You're changing the state of one thing into another. You want the ball to be lighter than the air it floats upon. You simply give that information to the ball. It's like communicating, but I don't know, it's always come quite easily to me. You
Understood.
simply tell the ball that it is lighter than the air, and you sort of convince it. A bit like how you told me to shake your hand. But
I
with
see.
your brain.
Perhaps I've reached my limit.
You'll learn in time. Yeah. And she takes off her ring, and she hands it to you. Hold it in your hand. You have one of the manufacturing rings, do you not? You are able
Yes.
to perhaps shape water.
Yes.
And then she takes out her flask and she pours a little bit into the center of the ring that is upon your hand so that it fills up. So it holds a little bit of water. As you have practiced, I'm sure, with your manufacturing ring, please lift the water up into a small ball in the air.
You want me to cast shape water? I'm assuming. Or do you
all
want me
you
to...
do is use shape water to put the water ball in the air. And
Yeah,
as
I'll
you
do so.
she all you simply did was command that water to be as you wished it. The same goes for levitation. You just have to be a bit more precise. You don't want it to be a ball in the air. You're not changing its nature. You are just changing its weight. And with that, she moves the water ball over towards her and floats it back into her bottom. Gestures for
Hand
the
the
ring.
ring back. Thank you.
Concentration and thought. And logic. It'll come in time. Don't worry. she is going to, as you guys reach the practice hall, she enters in, and one of the instructors there, one of the people who are in charge of looking after, so he just shakes his head. Evocation again, Herta. Yes, sir? Perhaps you might take the room to the far left. There is nothing flammable in there today. Good luck. He looks at you. Practice, eh? Practice.
Yes.
She will go and attempt to set fire to the whole building. What exactly is Zaz practicing in the practice?
Well, although I know that I want to practice the suggestion spell and the spell I learned from the enchantment, the thing that Aveltria said to me actually kind of struck a chord. And perhaps that is how I can get my magic to go to another level. I'm pretty stoic and very controlled, but perhaps not controlling is on certain things. It's better.
So you just gotta kind of let it go and see what happens.
Pretty much.
No from me. This is a straight nat one. I've got nothing for you. Yeah. You sort of try and let go and be a bit more free with your magic, but I don't think this is the easiest thing for Zaz.
No.
He's quite a constructed, sensible person. Letting go is difficult. There will be a class that encourages you to do that at some point. We will get to it when we get to it. But for now, I'm afraid that is, yeah, you'll spend a fruitless evening practicing and not succeeding, where that is concerned. Okay. Now, what else would we be doing this evening? Aveltria, what would you be doing for the evening?
I would have tried to slip away and go back to divination.
To the woman?
Mm-hmm.
As you go over to Karina's office, you'll see that Karina is sat in an office that is full to the brim with just junk. It is just full of shit. There's teacups, there's strange crystal balls, there's auguring things, there's bones, as in bones to roll, not just bones. There's weird dice, there's scrying devices, pools for water. It's up to the ceiling, and she's sort of, oh, hold on, let me find her voice. That wasn't the voice I was looking for. Oh, good evening, girl. Please, come in.
Hope I'm not disturbing, Professor.
No. It's never disturbing to see a keen student return to the class. What troubles you, or did you come about those dreams?
You mentioned making them stop.
No. I said I could help you with them. I can't make them stop. Only you can do that. But I can teach you something a little simpler. And with that, she will go digging in a book. And eventually, she will pull out a scroll. And this scroll has absolutely nothing to do with divination whatsoever. As it is a scroll of sleep. Now, the normal manner for casting this spell is by learning, and you would be able to cast it on someone else. However, if you read this scroll at night, you will have a little more control over your sleep. When you have the dream, tell yourself to wake up. Question it. Ask it why it still visits you. Think in your mind about whether you're still trying to process part of it. Perhaps get past it. I sense that it must be an emotional dream for you, and a troublesome dream. But dreams come for a reason. You must find the reason. Don't turn away from it or be afraid of it. It has already happened. You cannot change what has already happened. You can only change what you do with it. A sad memory, I assume.
I'm sure I have a file here somewhere. Thank you, Professor. This will be great.
I'm sure you do have a file, but I, for one, choose to ignore them. You wish to talk about it, I will listen, but I'm not one to read about my students until I've met them. And when you head to bed this evening, watch out for the low-hanging picture.
Okay, Professor.
Good night.
Good night.
That was the best she could do when she tried to foresee your dreams this evening, is work out that you might bump your head on the way up. She didn't roll very well. Nevertheless. DC. Oh, go on, sorry, Valtteri.
I'm just gonna spend the rest of the night with the Scroll of Fortune's Favor.
You won't be able to write it to your spellbook. You may use it once, and once only, in a time of need.
Oh, sorry, what was the other one? Longstrider.
Longstrider, yes, that's the one. Yes, Fortune's Favor is a gift. You may use it once, a bit like the Felicidasis. I can never remember exactly how to say that word, but you know what I mean. Yes, the liquid luck potion from Harry Potter. Nevertheless, DC, what are you doing for the evening? What's your plan?
I would either be in the common area or the bar we were in last episode, wherever there was more people.
Oh, the common room. Most people in the common room. You see that most people are studying their scrolls of Longstrider. The Bryson is the Bryson. I don't know why he's the Bryson. Bryson is attempting to levitate his dinner plate in the corner of the room. Other than that, everybody else seems to be reading the Longstrider scroll as far as I can see. What would Ziggy be doing?
Are the siblings there?
No, they're at their estates. They visit the common room like once in a blue moon. That's it.
Then while Bryson is trying to levitate his plate, I'm gonna cast an illusion of it falling and shattering on the floor.
The sight. Oh no, you can do sight and sound, can't you?
Yeah, but I don't think I can do both at the same time.
Yeah, you can. That's the whole point of having an improved minor illusion as an illusionist. Yes. Cool. And as you all hear the shattering of this plate, Bryson sort of looks over and picks up his plate and checks underneath it that there wasn't another one. Puts it down and looks around. Huh. He's utterly confused, and he goes back to trying to levitate it again. But this time a little more fearfully, as he now wonders if he's already smashed one or not. Is there anything else that you would like to get done in the evening?
I'll probably have just done a little more just jokes around, and then I would have probably studied my spells as well, the Longstrider and
I'll take
else.
the Longstrider check from everybody at the end of the evening. I think I gave you it, didn't I? I told you all the DC. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all passed.
Yeah, DC 14, just roll it and straight, and if you get it, you can write it in. If you don't, you can't. Bartholomew, what are you doing for the evening?
I would be wherever there are like training dummies and stuff.
So down at the practice hall with Sass. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just like, cause like I flavor a lot of Bart's spells that he's conjuring stuff, and that's what this spell does. So he'd just be like practicing doing things like that.
Okay, fantastic. You spend the evening there. Give me an Arcana check. Yes.
That's a 17.
Okay. Give me a second. If you don't have it already, you may learn the spell Grease, if you wish. That's what you've ended up summoning.
Okay. I mean, that's not what I meant, but sure.
Oh, what did you mean then?
I meant, so like, for example, I had the spell Catapult, but if I was to use it in like combat, I wouldn't flavor it like that. I'd flavor it like I summoned like a giant, and the giant picked up the ball and threw it. That's what I'm talking about.
I see. Okay. In that case, I think we'll just leave you as is. But you may take the spell Grease if you wish, as you did pass the check. Cadmus, what would you be doing for the evening? Cadmus! Cadmus!
Oh, okay.
Cadmus!
Sorry, my microphone was muted there. Right.
What were you doing for the evening?
Right, a few things. First thing, writing the spell into the book. That's probably the first thing I'll be looking to do on succeeding with it.
Mhm.
And then, is the library available right now?
Of course, the library's available all hours of the day in this place.
Okay, well, I'll head straight over there. Grab a book on some transmutation magic, and also if I can find a quiet corner in there,
Yeah, very much.
just try to practice some of the stuff from the lesson without making too much noise or disturbance.
The librarian tonight is a small gnome, because all gnomes are small. He has sort of long yellow hair that he's sort of braided into his beard. It sort of comes from here, and he's got a little gap in the middle where it's receded, but he has it braided into his hair. And in his braids, he has loads of beads and interesting things. He's got a humongous nose. And he sort of looks over, and you can see that he's sort of poring over a book on the table. He looks over, he sort of gives you a little wave and leaves you to it. You study away, but achieve nothing.
So the levitate spell in the class, is that actually a spell that I can look at? Because I can't find it anywhere.
What, levitate?
Yeah, you know the thing for levitating.
It's
the,
a level 2 spell.
I was looking it up and I couldn't find it. Or was I looking up levitation?
I don't know, but levitate is just a level 2 spell. You'll be able to get
right.
it when you level up. That's how that one works.
Yeah, I was just looking, I couldn't find it. I got really confused.
Well, it's player's handbook, so there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to find it.
I might have been searching levitation then. That might have done it.
Cool. So, as the group of you let your evening pass, we will get up nice and early for tomorrow's lessons. I'm going to take you straight to class, otherwise we're going to overrun by a mile. And your first lesson of the day will be Conjuration. As you arrive at Blackrough. There we go. Confuse the teachers. Because I've written that wrong, that's why. That's there we go. Okay, your first lesson of the day will be Conjuration. As you enter, you see a large, tall gentleman, quite strapping, with a staff in his hand, resting easily. He wears a sword in his hip, which is something that's quite unusual for anyone at the university. And he sort of, as you all come in, as the last person sits down, he says, "Well, class, good day, good day. My name is Elgon. I will be teaching you the simple art of conjuration. The art of convenience, the art of having to hand what you need when you need. And in reality, the basis to many, many other schools of magic. For what are you doing with other magic but conjuring? You conjure a ball of flame? Go on, Bart.
Is he human?
Yes, he is human. His name is Elgon, and he is the conjuration wizard. He looks over to you all, and the most fearful thing with conjuration is making a mistake and conjuring the wrong thing. For we do, at later and more advanced levels, summon live beasts, creatures from the abyss, and all sorts else. So I will tell you straight away that I will brook no idiocy, nor joking around in my class. You must concentrate and learn well, or you will fail. Now, it is my duty, as the resident conjuration headmaster, to teach you something first of all that you all should learn and know. You may not all seek interest in maintaining this, but I personally have found this particularly useful. Tell me, does anybody here know of familiars? Wizards' familiars?
Yes.
I have a little friend back in my room,
That's
but he's just a squirrel.
interesting. Zas, tell me what you know of wizards' familiars.
They are conjured beings from a different plane. You're able to connect with it. Sometimes see through its eyes. And I don't believe they actually die.
No, they do not. You're right. Excellent. 5 points to Griff. I'm in the wrong book. And he looks over at you and, good.
5
Very
points.
good. Yes.
Unseen servant, take that down.
5 points of something. I don't know what this Gryffindor is he speaks of. Nevertheless, he will look at you with... Quite right, quite right. Now, if you all open your desks, lift up the lid now, you will find that I have prepared for you various material components. You will see in front of you a piece of charcoal, and with that piece of charcoal, you will draw upon the parchment that is at the bottom of the desk. You will draw a large circle, such as this. And he sort of flipped this up on the side so that you're seeing this on a wall, right? Large circle, inside of which you will draw a 5-pointed star. Excellent. Next, you will take the incense, and you will turn your camera back on.
He got disconnected.
Vanished. We'll wait a moment.
Oh yeah, I always wanted to be Zas.
But
Well,
I'm going to conjure a idiotic being to continue talking. And with that, I'll conjure one in Kira's box.
well, oh, they're back.
Welcome back, man. So, he tells you now to take the incense, place it in the censer, and light it. Once you have the incense burning, you must sprinkle the herbs into the brazier and control the flames in the brazier with your control flames ring to a larger level. As all of this goes on, you must chant continually the name of your familiar that you wish to summon. And as you do so, please, in your head, picture the animal form you choose. I will tell you that you may also have access to all the warlock ones. That's not coming from him, that's coming from me. So you may have a great familiar if you wish. But who the fuck wants an imp when you can have a fucking frog? Just saying. As I come first to Cadmus. Cadmus, please tell me, what name are you chanting and what beast are you envisioning? Or are you in the process of Googling what the warlock familiars are? Because I know someone is.
I'm not actually googling them. I just want to know if this is a possibility. A raven.
A raven, yes, a raven. You may, so let me tell you, you may have a bat, a crab, a cat, a frog, a hawk, a lizard, a toad, an octopus, an owl, a poisonous snake, a fish, a quipper, a rat, a raven, a seahorse, a spider, or a weasel. You may also have one of the warlock ones, which I shall now Google. Warlock familiars. 5e. I know that one is a pseudo-dragon and one is a quasit, and one is an imp. What are the other ones? A sprite.
Right.
I'm pretty settled on this.
Sprite, pseudo-dragon, quasit, imp, and the others. So you're summoning a raven, and tell me, what name are you saying as you summon said raven? Corvus! Corvus, the raven. Wait, where's that from? We had
Corvus is the
raven
actual
before.
name of the. Oh.
We've had Corvus before.
Have we?
Is Corvus
Yeah,
in one of
we've
your
had-
campaigns?
I don't remember. Maybe.
Corvus is somewhere doing something.
Yeah, Corvus is somewhere.
Interesting.
Yeah, I had a character somewhere from something, but not
Ah,
D&D.
okay, it was, yeah, perhaps it was you, Corvus, I don't know. Anyway, so as you repeat Corvus, you do not need to make an Arcana check for this, you will succeed eventually. But you will spend the first hour of class casting this ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, you hear a caw. Well, it would seem we're to be friends. Not bad, a dragonborn. Excellent.
I'm surprised this worked this quickly.
Well, quickly as a perspective thing, is it not? Does it normally take you a long time to succeed at your spells?
Some of them. Only some.
Ah, well, you can't all be perfect like me. And I shall move over to Zas. Zas, tell me, what name are you uttering and what beast do you hope will appear?
Tavium.
Tavium. And what do you hope will appear when you say Tavium's name?
I am looking for a white-scaled pseudo-dragon.
A white-scaled pseudo-dragon. Excellent. Eventually, this white-scaled pseudo-dragon appears before you. Pseudo dragons, do they fly? They do, right? Yeah, cool. It hovers before you and it looks over at you. Well, it would seem that we are going to be good pals. Tell me, what's your name?
Zas.
Sounds good to me. Let's get on with it, eh?
Let's.
Because I really can't drag that accent out. DC, what name are you uttering and what's going to appear? And my god, if you name your fucking familiar after one of the Lagon siblings, I will fire you from the campaign. So
I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that.
don't.
I'm just gonna say wing. Wing.
Okay.
And if you look at my art, it's an owl.
Okay. What color is your owl? Words.
Great question.
Fuck me. That's not
It's grey, right?
Is
Grey.
it grey brown? Sure. But what is
Grey.
noticeable is its bright green eyes. It looks before you and... Well, you have made a fine choice.
This is fantastic.
Excellent. Tell me why you called me Wing.
Because you have 2 wings.
Then I would be Wing Wing.
Alright, that's your name now, Wing Wing.
Wing Wing is pleased. Excellent. And you are? God, you can do it.
I am trying to compose myself. I am Ziggy.
Excellent. Ziggy is what I shall call you. Fantastic. Veltria, please tell me what name are you uttering and what beast you hope appears.
I'm gonna close my eyes, pull out clips, and pull up a very, very fluffy black cat.
Excellent. And sorry, the name you were calling out?
Eclipse.
Eclipse. Sorry, I thought you just said Pips. I was like, that's different. You focus for a while, and eventually, this fluffy black cat curls up and it begins licking its hand. I see. We are to work together, are we not? Good. God help me, I sound like Bryson. Unintentional. And, it just sort of stares straight at you. Is Eclipse male or female?
Male.
Male. He stares at you intently, waiting your command. But, what name are you uttering? And what are you hoping appears?
Well, the most prankster-like would be a sprite. And he would be called Mido.
Okay. You focus Mido. And a small flopping fish appears upon your... No, I'm kidding. Can you imagine? Everybody else have what they want, they just fuck you over. No, a small sprite appears in front of you. Oh no, I was not thinking about that at all. And, he turns up and... Good day! Right, what are we going to do? Come on, what are we going to do? Tell me, now. What's your name?
I'll prestidigitate.
Prestidigitation, yes.
That would be novel, wouldn't it?
Prestidigitation, try and pronounce it properly. Come on, right, what are we going to do?
I'm gonna minor conjuration, a fish. Go put it down Ziggy's top.
What's a Ziggy?
And that one. And I'll put
Excellent. And then you hear it, his voice repeating in your mind. You know we can talk like this if you want to keep it private. And then he will take his fish and he will make his stealth check. He gets a 6.
Did I hear him say my name though?
No, you were too focused on chatting away with your owl. Nevertheless,
his stealth is a +8, you know.
Its stealth is a +8?
Oh yes.
Jesus, I've got the wrong animal. All right, he gets a
tiny
14 on his stealth. Ziggy, give me a perception check as he's flying a fish past your face.
Well, I'll tell him to go invisible because he can do that.
The fish can't.
No, he can. Well, no, everything he's carrying will go invisible.
Haha, I rolled a natural 1.
Yeah, great. All right. Regardless, so as he gets over you, you feel a plunk on the back of your shirt. It's a little cold, and you sort of, and you just say, and it flies straight past you.
Then I'll telepathically say, "My name's Bart, by the way."
Right. And you called me what?
Mido.
Mido. I like it. Very good.
I like your little bow.
Thank you. And then, at this moment, the teacher sort of raises his hand and... Well, it would seem you've all become acquainted with your pets, and I have done my job. Now, for something more exciting. Much more exciting. There is something different occasionally about the art of conjuration. As I said, we are summoning things out of thin air, but sometimes we are instead creating unusual forces in the air. Now, this spell is mildly dangerous, so I will need you to concentrate hard. And please take a pinch of dust from your component pouch and sprinkle it in the air. Say after me. And picture in your head a devil made purely of dust. Now, make your rolls, please. Your DC is... Oh, let's not do that. I rolled a d20 to add a 12 to. That would have been harsh. Your DC is a 16.
Disadvantage or regular?
All of you have disadvantage apart from Bartholomew.
16.
Wow.
That's a nat 20 for a 25.
Kira with a proper get-in face over there.
God damn it.
Oh dear. Do we have a failure? Right, Cadmus. Cadmus, how did you do?
Nat 1.
Okay, Cadmus, you summon a large ball of air that blows the dust all over the place. It goes in your eyes and you end up sneezing. He sort of looks at you. Too much time in the books, not enough time with the magic. You, Zas, how are you doing?
A 20 and a natural 20.
A 20 and a natural 20. Fucking show off. And you are able to conjure a dust devil under your command. However, you only keep it out for a few moments before your concentration wavers and it dissipates to thin air. Ziggy.
A 17 and a 15.
Oof. Tragic.
Very tragic.
You are able to make an image out of dust, but you soon realize that what you have made is an illusion. As you've reverted to your natural forms. Veltria, your rolls.
16 was
Nice.
the lower.
And you are able to summon a dust devil. You keep your concentration even less time than Zas. It sort of is there for a moment and then it's gone. But your roll.
A natural 20 for a 25.
Natural 20. As you attempt this summoning, a fully formed dust devil with the face of Cadmus appears, looks over to you and...
Truly terrifying.
What would you like me to do? Is what you hear briefly in your mind. Command it. It is yours.
Can it pick things up?
No, it is made of dust.
And?
It can punch things.
Oh, so it can punch, but it can't pick things up. Where's the logic?
I don't know. Ask D&D. I'm just reading the sheet.
You know, give me the number.
Yeah.
That's fine. I will tell it telepathically to take some of its dust and go sprinkle it over the brother and sister's hair.
Okay. As you do so, you only add to the disaster that has gone over there as they spraying dust into the air and failing miserably to summon anything. As both of them are pretty incompetent here. Nevertheless, as you look around while controlling doors with ease, and you are congratulated by your teacher, as Elgon looks over and... Excellent work. Very well done. Heta is sneezing just like Cadmus, complete flop. Bryson has succeeded, however, and he managed to hold his for a couple of seconds before it wavered to nothing. Cassandra's off her game. She just stumbled over the words. Nothing happened at all. She didn't even move her dust. Tragic. Nat one of the century. Nevertheless, Elgon looks over at you all and... Well, I trust you will all study hard and practice out of lesson. Please be aware that anything you conjure, you must take responsibility for. It is your creation. And I know that we have some tricksters in the class. although you have shown extreme aptitude, Bartholomew. Please remember what I said. Conjuration at later and at more advanced magical levels can be incredibly dangerous. Losing concentration can result in endangering yourself and others. Take the art seriously, even if it does come easily to you. Good day, class. And you will be off until evening, where you will have your last lesson.
Is that in the spell?
Yes. You will be able to write Dust Devil into your spellbook when you hit level 3. And all of you, of course, will have Find Familiar now. Find Familiar is the one spell that you don't need to ritual cast to get it out, if you like. To summon it to be present. Although I'm not sure, actually, with Find Familiar, if you need to cast it to bring it out.
Only once, unless it dies.
Yeah. So, yeah, you just can have your familiars with you or not with you, invisible or not, as and when. In my rules, you may only have one familiar form at a time. You may not create a second one.
How far can the familiar go from us?
That's not really a thing. As far as you like.
Okay, cool.
You can leave it behind if you like and go home. And however, you can dismiss it and then resummon it right next to you immediately. Okay. Cool. And you will have a long lunch and a free afternoon. But we are going to time skip to our next lesson, as you will enter to the last lesson of the day. And you arrive in the evening. And as you arrive, there is a dwarf upon the stage. He's completely bald. The huge beard. Waits for you all to sit in. Good day, class. Welcome in, one and all. I always ask to be the first teacher to see a class, but alas, my time is not endless. My name is Gallus. I will be teaching you the art of abjuration. In my humble opinion, abjuration is always the art, the school of magic that should be learnt first. Why, you might ask? Well, abjuration is the art of defending oneself. And defensive magic should always be learnt before offensive magic or frivolous magic, do you not think? For magic is a dangerous thing, it is not a toy. It must be used wisely and carefully. But if you must say something, spit it out. Go on.
I want to interrupt you. I was just going to say, what's his name?
His name is Gallus, Gallus. Excellent. Well, as I said, today I will be teaching yourself the art of defending yourself. And for this, we have a couple of options. So, first of all, does anybody here know the spell Shield?
Yes.
I think we all do.
No, you have one use of it per day from your amulet, but you don't actually have it written into your spellbook, do you?
I know Shield.
Oh, no, you're right.
Yeah. So I think
I do.
Zas does. Excellent. Zas, you will be able to learn the spell. In fact, I will let all of you choose then. Between Shield and I'm assuming everybody here has Mage Armor.
Yes.
I don't.
Well, no, that would be pointless. Oh, shit. Yeah, I can't let you choose. Okay. For the rest of you, you may all choose between Shield and Mage Armor. I'm afraid you ain't getting... actually, there is a third spell, sorry. Absorb Elements. Would be the spell
What if
that
you
you
have
would
all
be
three
going
of
for.
those?
And if you have all three of them, then you should have fucking rolled an Abjuration Wizard, not a fucking Transmutation Wizard, you
I have
dumb
more
shit.
I have more transmutation spells than that, though. Trust me.
How many fucking spells do you have? Are you sure you don't have Shield from the amulet?
I'll check.
See, I don't have
my
Absorb
sources.
Elements. I lied. I don't have Absorb Elements. Wrong. I'm thinking wrong wizard. Wrong wizard.
I'll take shield.
Absorb Elements for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Adultery?
same.
Absorb
What is
Elements?
absorb element? What does that do?
So,
Yeah,
when
it's the
you...
amulet, sorry.
It reduces 1d, I think 4 or 6 of an element damage that you've just taken, and it empowers your next
How to
melee attack.
It captures incoming magic, giving you resistance to the triggering damage type. So you will take half damage from, let's say, a fireball when you are hit, and if you hit with a melee attack on your next turn, you may deal an additional 1d6 of said damage type. But it's still useful even without the melee attack. Should you wish. Okay, brilliant.
Actually, I'm changing back to shield,
Yes.
realizing that I'm not going to be meleeing things.
No, you're not. The DC here is nice and simple, as I rolled a 1 on the original dice, and that's a DC of 7. So see if you can fail that, as you'll be able to choose between shield, mage, armor, and absorb elements. Full disclosure,
Disadvantage or regular?
disadvantage. Full disclosure, you will get all 3 of these spells.
Oh, it's advantage?
No, dis.
Okay.
Oh. Right, well, that's still a 17.
I don't think any of you can fail unless you roll an app 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, did anybody roll an app 1?
Nope.
No, good. He stands sort of a little higher up on the podium on the stage, and, well, that is as it might be. Excellent, well done. I'm glad that you have all learned something here. The second spell I'm going to teach you is a little more complicated. Please, let me find out why this isn't working. Excuse me? Won't be long. I'll load something. Come on, game. Game. Is it a game? Not sure.
The game's over.
I want to play a game.
I'm
Oh, this
just
is
a
taking so
game.
fucking long. D&D is just being absolutely shite. Okay. And the next spell that will be taught is... Yes. Is an upgrade of Absorb Elements called Absorb Spell.
Mm.
Cool.
This will allow you to create a barrier of magical energy in front of you, which absorbs 1d10 plus your spellcasting modifier damage from the spell. If you reduce the spell's damage to 0, you will gain advantage on the first spell attack you make next turn. Gallus stands up and he gestures towards Zas. You! Do you have an easy cantrip to hand that you might aim at me, as I wish to demonstrate something?
Yes, I will cast
Please do.
Chill Touch.
And as you do, he sort of raises his hands up in front of him. Quite like the screen. I don't know why I'm acting it out. You can see the fucking picture. And a rune with a barrier appears in front of him. Think Doctor Strange. That's what all of his magic is going to look like. And you see that your spell is completely absorbed, and then he flings it off in another direction. The art of abjuration can be complex for some. Let's find out how difficult it is for you. Mr. Cantrip. That's a 19, please, Zaz. Disadvantage. 1 pass.
Yes.
2
Both
pass.
pass. Yep.
Absorb spell is yours. He looks to DC. Your DC will be 17.
Mm-mm.
Uh-oh.
Yes, rolling that one.
This will not be yours. Didn't suit you anyway. But... Ooh, a 1 on the dice. Your DC is a 13. Apparently this was just naturally something you might learn. Who knew? This is because you're conjuring a shield. That must be it.
I got a 13.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Write it in. Cadmus, your DC is a 15.
Regular disadvantage again?
Regular disadvantage.
Yeah, that's a 9.
Okay. Sorry, Valtria. That's a 23.
Oh gosh, of course it is.
Wow, you've learned a lot of spells today.
A nat 20 and a 9.
Oh! The 9. The poor 9. 9! You may not have this spell. As he looks over at you all, and the art of defending yourself is incredibly important. And thus, please, take the scroll on your way out. If you do not already know mage armor, please pick it up as you leave. He sort of gestures and a large stack of scrolls appears by the door. You must do your homework. Your politics teacher informs me that most of you don't do his. Never mind. Excellent. Thank you very much, class. You're all dismissed.
Thank you, Professor.
Good. Gallus is most similar to me, I would say, of the teachers. He likes his defensive magic. So,
What's the DC to put Mage Armor in our spellbook?
it isn't. If you want it, you can write it in. Mage armor is something I kind of feel you should all have, because that is instead based on how often you cast it, remember? Will determine how good it becomes. You will all have been given a focusing crystal by Madam Ginjo?
Ginzo?
Ginzo.
So,
Yeah. So you may cast upon that your mage armor. If you barely use it, it's going to be useless to you because it's going to last an hour. If you use it every day, it's going to become great. So that's the way the mage armor is going to be rewarded for you. However, that will bring us to the end of our session. A lot of lessons today and not a huge amount else. Next week we'll be going on an expedition. However, I think that is enough for today. So we come to our MVPs. And I will come first to Josh.
So a little one is the first time getting DM inspiration.
Sorry, hold on. Blown my own eardrums. Sorry. Your first. Sorry, what was your MVP?
When you were choking, bitch.
I know you love it when that's what's happening to me.
No, a little one was getting DM inspiration.
Oh yeah, it's probably a first, isn't it?
Yeah. So that was really nice. But I think my main one, and then another little one was for seeing Cadmus's failure in his academic studies.
Stop giving MVP to yourself.
No, but they're just little ones.
Yeah.
But my main way is that I love Ziggy so much. He's so much fun.
I think Ziggy might have won MVP from everyone this week.
He's like so much fun to bounce off of, and then he's so funny to just like
watch,
listen to. Yeah.
Oh, that was brilliant today. Speaking of which, Ziggy, Matt, your MVP, please.
I mean, Josh said it basically, but it was when he looked into the ball and he said, "Oh no!" But as soon as he said, "Oh no," I knew he was about to come up with some kind of bullshit.
And then Ace's deception check. Yeah, it's brilliant. No, I enjoyed that too. Zas, Kira.
I like the structure of everything that's going on. And I like Hedda. Hedda's cool. I think that's mostly, but like, I do like, I'm like wondering about the whole underlying thing that's going on with like behind the school or what's going to happen. So like I like just, this is just a really nice pace of everything. I like the pace of the structure.
I'm glad. Yeah, we're gonna start exploring the world a little bit without really getting anywhere next week. We're just gonna go on a trip, and then it'll definitely be politics first before adventure. So you're seeing a little bit of that with sort of Cassandra and. With the Lagon siblings and such. But no, I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm enjoying the pacing as well. It feels very relaxed and quite... I mean, bear in mind that I wrote the campaign from level 5 to 13. So this is like a precursor to the campaign, I guess, 2 to 5. So obviously there can't be too much because, well, I've been giving you the real story. But that's already written from 5 to 13. But yeah, Jamel, Cadmus, your MVP.
You see, the thing is, Josh already took mine. Is total screwing me over.
That's all right. We can have 2 MVPs for that. Not a problem. A Veltria Laura. That's my way. I've now learned, by the way, that it's a Veltria Laura. So I always know it's a Laura playing a Veltria. It's a Veltria Laura. It's in my head. I've got that written down at the top of my notebook. A Veltria Laura. Laura, your MVP, please.
It's gotta be ICT.
Oh no, you stole mine. That was, that was unbeatable. ICT. I couldn't agree more. In fact, I was going to pass out DM inspiration to Matt at the end of this to say, for ICT. It is, both of yours, I suppose, were making me laugh as opposed to dead-on roleplay, but seeing as you're both playing tricksters, I loved it. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look at the rules. I haven't sent any of you. So I doubt it. I don't think I've sent our homebrew rules and house rules in the channel. However, I have added a couple of things, which is when I give out DM inspiration, you must spend it within 2 sessions. So you must spend your DM inspiration by the end of session 4. So in your head, Matt, that's session 3. Yeah?
You can't hang on to it for a million sessions? So that
no,
you
cannot be the only
damage?
person who got it in Jatlo Keep to then spend it on reducing it by 5 damage. Well, I sort of changed my mind about inspiration in Jathrog Keep and decided not to give it, which is why we only had 1 instance of it. But yeah, I'm giving out quite freely in this campaign, so yeah, you must spend it by the end of the episode after next. And because I can't give an MVP to ICT, the hesitance of Jamal to answer absolutely anything until I asked him what his familiar looked like. At which point he like jumped at me. He was like, "Come on, it's a raven." I was like, "All right, very well." Like, somebody wanted that really badly. So yeah, it was
knew what I wanted for that one, for that one specific thing. For everything else, I was like, shit. Wheels are spinning. I'm struggling here.
Absolute props as well to all of you for the creativity in your divination class. To just throw at you, what do you see? Full disclosure, the thing with the divination girl, I knew it would be easy to do a Trelawney, right? Where she kind of is a bit batty. And I decided to keep with being a bit batshit crazy, but the difference with Karina is she believes in every single portent in the class. Like, not that she's interpreting them, she lets you interpret them and then believes your interpretation, which is frankly terrifying. Because she must be expecting death all day, every day. But I also just am in love with her art. I just think Karina's art is the best art I've found for any wizard ever. Like, look at that bitch, man. She got shoes! I'm in love with her and the art. So yeah. I'm really enjoying you guys' creativity and your sort of forethought and the way you guys are thinking about what's going to happen in terms of your characters and stuff. So I'm glad. I'm just sending the next 3 arts into our channel so you've got them all. Those are your teachers. Yeah. So I think we will end there. Thank you very much, guys, for playing. I hope you had fun. Thank you to the viewers for being here and watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Am I going to raid? I don't think we are going to raid today. I think we're just going to end there. So, actually we are. We're going to raid somebody who's a new friend of mine. And I just want to give this guy some credit for like how unusual he is. So his name is Dregas13. He is playing Valheim, but what he's doing is building Skyrim in the Valheim world. So please, show him some love. Go and pay it. He's just interesting and cool. So I think it might be worth sending him some ducks. However, that is it from me. So without further ado, if you guys would like to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Peace.
We will see you soon.